Johnson described Musk's effort as heroic in a post on social platform X, which is also owned by the tech billionaire, and claimed that the radical left is behind the attacks against Tesla. Johnson wrote, quote, Congress will investigate the sources of these attacks and help the DOJ, or Department of Justice, and FBI ensure those responsible are prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Musk responded to Johnson's post with his own, thanking him, including American flag and saluting emojis. President Trump floated the idea of labeling violence at Tesla dealerships as domestic terrorism. Bernie Bennett, Washington.
The threat of a partial government shutdown looms as Senate Democrats threaten to torpedo a Republican-sponsored bill to keep the government running through the end of September. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says Republicans don't have the votes to pass the House-approved bill in the Senate. Democrats have been pushing for a 30-day funding measure. Newly minted EPA Chief Lee Zeldin launching an historic overhaul of the massive agency, cutting red tape and going after regulations that he says stifle American energy production and the U.S. economy.
Our actions will lower the cost of living by making it more affordable to purchase a car, heat your home, and operate a business. Jobs will be created, especially in the U.S. auto industry, and our nation will become stronger for it.
At the same time, Zeldin insists the environment will be protected. Tariffs expected to place high on the agenda. Secretary of State Rubio attending a two-day G7 summit in Canada. On Wall Street this morning, ahead of the opening bell, the Dow futures are down 85 points. NASDAQ futures off 83. S&P futures down 15. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Hey, it's big. Rob Schmidt recently beat CNN in key ratings, as millions are tuning into Newsmax. Every night, Rob Schmidt is on Newsmax revealing the truth about Elon Musk's Doge. Tune in tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern and find out why Rob is the hottest person in cable news. Even President Trump is watching, and he says Newsmax is terrific. Reuters Institute reports that Newsmax is now one of the top news brands in America. Find out why. Just check out Newsmax on your cable system. Get Rob Schmidt with Greta Van Susteren, Rob Finnerty, and much more. Download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone or home TV to start watching. It takes just seconds. With Newsmax Plus, you can watch our great shows anytime. Go to NewsmaxPlus.com and start your free trial. That's NewsmaxPlus.com. Make the switch to Newsmax today.
Russia says its offensive in Ukraine is making headway.
Russia's defense ministry has said its forces have driven the Ukrainian army out of the biggest town in Russia's Kursk border region. The announcement comes as U.S. officials have sought the Kremlin's response to a proposed 30-day ceasefire that Ukraine has endorsed. The Russian defense ministry's claim that it recaptured the town of Sudzha could not be independently verified. The Ukrainian army's seventh-month foothold in Kursk has been under intense pressure for months from a renewed effort by Russian forces, backed by North Korean troops. Ukraine's daring incursion last August led to the first occupation of Russian soil by foreign troops since World War II. I'm Karen Chamas.
Belgian federal prosecutors making several arrests, part of a corruption probe linked to the European Parliament, amid reports in local media the Chinese company Huawei had bribed EU lawmakers. News and analysis at townhall.com. Looks like a couple of astronauts stuck on the International Space Station will have to wait longer before they come home.
SpaceX had been set to launch a crew to the International Space Station Wednesday evening from Florida's Kennedy Space Center. But
SpaceX LD on countdown 1. At this time, we are standing down from today to further address hydraulic release data.
The new crew needs to get to the station before Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams can head home. They've been stuck there since June after Boeing's Starliner encountered major breakdowns in transit. As for the 4 astronauts waiting to go,
we'll be ready with the equipment.
The next launch attempt could come as early as Thursday.
Yeah, sorry about the unfortunate result today, but we'll get you back up here and there soon.
I'm Ben Thomas.
Trump economic policies seem to be working already. The rate of increase in inflation dropped significantly last month, and it was the first such decline in about 4 months. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat.
Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Yes, sir.
It's blowing in.
Welcome back to the captain's chair, Laser Eyes.
Thank you.
Mikey Laser Eyes.
Thank you for holding down the fort while I was away.
Oh, it was easy yesterday. There was no wind. Today and tomorrow, holding down that fort's going to be a little more challenging.
Need a few tent pegs to hold this one down. But yeah, thank you for doing that.
Sure.
Got my eyes worked on and all that. So, I was seeing black dots yesterday after that treatment. That was fun.
Which is, it kind of made me chuckle a little bit because the whole reason we did this in the first place was to get rid of the little black dots that you were seeing.
Well, it was different.
I know.
But same difference.
They got rid of those dots and they added some new dots in.
Well, the dots were temporary.
Right.
So they are gone this morning.
I would hope so. You drove here.
I did?
Fair enough. I don't know that for sure.
I did.
I parked street side. I didn't see your Jeep.
How did I get here? Where's my pants?
I've told that story before, but the last thing you want to hear somebody say when they're driving is, "Oh, that's right, I'm driving."
Right. No, all that's good this morning. But it was a little breezy yesterday. Lubbock had a little breeze to it.
Yeah,
so.
Texas tends to be. I mean, once you leave the confines of New Mexico, the entirety of West Texas is just like a wind tunnel.
Yeah, I had Cracker Barrel for lunch.
Ooh,
that was
nice.
what we decided on. Actually, I had breakfast.
So what'd you have?
I had it's like Grandpa's something or another. Farm breakfast or something. It basically
like
was
a scramble.
It was. I got over easy.
Okay.
2 eggs over easy. I got a big old ham steak.
Nice.
Some hash brown casserole, some grits, and iced tea.
Dude, you would be amazed at how hard it is to find grits in this town.
I'm a grits fan.
Next to impossible.
If I can get grits, I get grits.
There's the Hop-In Cafe does it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Cowboy Cafe stopped doing it, which I know. I was heartbroken.
Why? You might as well just...
They might bring it back, they said.
To be honest, you can't call yourself Cowboy Cafe and not have grits.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's just not right.
Pretty sure the Sale Barn has them.
Good.
That's about it.
I'm pretty... Yeah, that you lose your Cowboy card if you get rid of your grits. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
That's a faux pas of high order.
Now, do you go sweet or savory with your grits?
I'm a sweet guy.
Okay.
I have gone savory.
I tend to like it with the salt and like the cheese.
Well, I like it if I'm doing like a, if they get all like when Gordon Ramsay's get into your grits and they start throwing shrimp and everything else in there.
But, that's when you fancy right. Up them grits.
But if I'm just down home country breakfast, I go sweet.
That's fair.
Because a little sweet and low because sugar. Me.
Well, yeah.
And then butter, of course.
All the butter.
Oh yeah, but man, I want some more grits.
That sounds delightful.
It was grits, but yes, had good safe travels and all that.
Nice.
And, congratulations to the Coyotes.
Yeah,
they won quarterfinal action yesterday.
A real slobber knocker.
Yeah, defeating the Farmington Scorpions 76-42. That means they play Volcano Vista, the 1 seed, tonight. In the semifinals. That game will be right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Tip-off is scheduled for 8:15 this evening.
8:15. First game of the day yesterday, last game of the day today.
Yeah, so they will, and so I'm going to tell you right now, maybe because it's so late that maybe it will start on time, but methinks, as it always happens in the past, the game's going to be starting a little later because they usually the other games go long, and then by the time they get to the 8 o'clock game, they're playing at 8:30, 9 o'clock. So just don't, if you tune at 8:15 and you're still hearing, Clyde Lewis, that's because they haven't started off.
Right.
There. But we'll have all the action. Art and Kelly will be at the pit bringing you all the game right here on the radio, and of course, audio only on the video stream at ksvptv.com and the Coyote channel there. So.
Yes, indeed.
And if they win tonight, they will play for a blue trophy tomorrow night at 8 p.m. If that does happen, we will also have that for you right here on 106.5. So, and by the way, on the other side of the bracket, it's a 2-3 seed. The 2-seed Hobbs taking on the 3-seed Sandia. We will know that game's outcome before the Coyotes tip off tonight because they'll play at 4:45 this afternoon to determine that one. So just and that's the latest for playoff basketball.
Put it on your calendars and tune in because it's going to be another barn burner.
I haven't paid much. I didn't get a chance to pay much attention to Artesia. Are they done?
I don't know.
Let me see. Artesia. Yeah, they played today at 6:30.
Ah, there you go.
They are the 2 seed. They're going to be taking on the 3 seed Espanola Valley. That'll be a 6:30. We will have that for you on our sister station, 990 AM KSVP, also audio only at ksvptv.com in the Bulldog channel.
Yes, sir.
And if they win, and they're in 4A, where the Coyotes are in 5A, Artesia's in 4A. So the two will not meet in basketball. In football, they meet, not so much in the other sports. But if Artesia defeats Espanola, and that's a 2 seed, 3, so it's Artesia's the 2 seed. They're either going to take on the 4 seed Albuquerque Academy or the 8 seed Highland. They will be squaring off at 3 o'clock. And then that championship game for 4A will be at 4 p.m. tomorrow. If the Bulldogs make it, we will have that on our sister station as well, 990 AM, KSVP, and, of course, KSVPTV.com and the Bulldog channel.
We got you covered, and like a good tag team, when you tag in, you get 10 seconds together. So softball season is underway too, as of this week. So
they'll have that on the video only, KSVPTV.com. Is it Goddard or Roswell Coyote softball? Goddard. So we'll have it. That'll be in the Goddard channel.
There you go.
For you. So I can't keep up on all of it, but I try.
So much sports.
So we got a bevy of high school sports action for you next.
Indeed. So I got to tell you what just happened.
Yes,
a few moments ago. So I'm in my studio. I'm working on our sister station at 92.9 The Brand.
We got a lot of sisters.
We do have a lot of sisters, and I get a phone call from my kid's mom, and she said, "I've got a question for you." I'm like, "Okay, shoot."
I've got something to say.
She goes, "What's with Hunter and quail eggs?" I laughed for a good. No. Hold on.
Oh,
I laughed for a good solid 30 seconds straight because I'm like, okay, well, let me give you the backstory of all this. Let me give you the backstory, Carletta. And so I explained it to her, and I said, yeah, but he left a half-eaten one in front of my computer. I thought that meant he didn't like it, but he said he liked them.
Oh.
So then Carletta said, he says they're his worst nemesis.
Oh, now what does that mean?
Well,
I'm confused.
At first she said worst nightmare.
Yeah.
But he said, no, Mom, my worst nemesis.
All right, I gotta know what's going on.
I think he hates them. I think it was like maybe the worst thing he's ever.
Then why does he keep eating them?
No, he didn't. He ate like a part of one.
Well, then why did you just say he liked it?
Maybe to appease me. I don't know.
It's okay, boy.
But yesterday,
you're gonna be in the majority on this one, to be honest.
Right. Yesterday, he goes. I like it, But then apparently to Mom, he's over there telling the honest truth.
But he had him before, right?
No, I offered him one in this trying time when I didn't have any snacks for him. I'm like, well, you can have a quail egg.
Yeah.
And I thought he liked it, but no.
Well.
Guess I was.
Snacks over here.
I think you still have one sitting right over there.
Where?
A quail egg, like right? I think.
Oh, quail egg. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I meant like snack.
Oh no, yeah, I've restocked.
Sonic peppermint here. Actually, yeah, one quail egg and 2 Sonic peppermints.
There you go. It's to wash the quail egg taste out of here, man. But yeah, no, just the fact that he called him his worst nemesis. That is hilarious to me.
That is pretty bold. That's a bold statement.
That is a bold statement indeed.
That's like his Skeletor.
Well, what that leads me to believe is he was up at night, like he's thinking about the experience of eating that egg again. And
sorry, I didn't mean to traumatize you.
I didn't mean to.
I mean, ipso facto, I brought these bad boys into the fold.
It's just when you get greeted on a phone call with, "What's the deal with Hunter and quail eggs?" I lost it.
I thought he was craving them. I was like,
lost
this
it.
is delightful.
My worst nemesis.
Is a guest here?
I don't know. I heard voices. No.
Okay, well, let me give you the rundown for today's show. Here in just a bit, we'll have the folks from Richland join us. I believe it'll be Ruben and Yvonne. They've got a big pre-owned sale going on at actually what they're doing with Richland is they've taken all of their pre-owned inventory from all the GM and the Dodge dealership, and they're bringing it all to the Dodge dealership. And for the next several days here through the weekend, they're having a huge pre-owned inventory sale on vehicles. They got a ton of them over there, so big savings. Of course, if you're looking for new vehicles, the GM store, Dodge store, they got you covered either way. But Ruben and Yvonne will join us, tell a bit about that. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, we're going to replay our interview that we had yesterday with the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, talking about their next meeting, which will be 1 week from yesterday, next Wednesday, at the Elks Lodge. And they have they always have great guests and everything. So we're going to play that interview for you here in the 8 o'clock hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, yesterday, Sean had a chance to talk with Brian Luck, superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District. We're going to replay that interview for you. Of course, they were talking a little about the wind and all that stuff, and I'm pretty sure it's official now. My wife got the details yesterday afternoon that they are going to go virtual learning tomorrow in the Roswell Independent School District. So you will be getting instructions from teachers and schools and all that today on procedures. If you don't already know, I'm sure that they already have plans in place. I know, from my understanding, it's from the upper grades, your middle school and high school, they kind of, but when you get down to elementary level, it's a little, because they can't take the Chromebooks out and stuff. So they have slightly different procedures for elementary versus middle and high school. That's why get with your schools, get with your teachers. They'll get you all the protocols for whatever the virtual learning day stuff will be like for you tomorrow. But anyway, that's the plan officially. I know they talk a little bit about in the interview about that they're going to go that way, but he had to talk with teachers and staff and have their meetings to do all that. So I got a chance to listen in a little bit. We were driving to Lubbock yesterday, so you know how that goes. And I actually we got the app on, but when you get anywhere, like if you're near Tatum or near Plains or near one of those towns, you got internet. But if you get too far away from them, not so much. So I got to catch bits and pieces of that interview yesterday. But we'll play that for you here about 9:15 or so. Plus, we will have all of the features, the newses of the local, national variety, Wall Street business updates, all that good stuff as well, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. It is 7:19. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty windy today and then very windy tomorrow. We have a low pressure system moving just off to our north. We will have some cloud cover today with some sunshine, wind gusting to about 35 and our afternoon high in the upper 70s. Very windy for the overnight hours. A slim chance of shower, our low dropping to 40. Pretty gusty on Friday, wind at 45 to 60 miles an hour and partly sunny. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 42 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 49%. Winds are calm, and that's at the moment. Drink that in, because that will change here pretty quick. In fact, for today, they've just issued a red flag warning for us for today. That's going to kick in at 10 this morning, remaining in effect through 8 p.m. Tomorrow, we have fire weather watch, high wind warnings. Those will all change to red flag as well tomorrow, because I think tomorrow's worse than today. But for today, we are looking at patchy blowing dust this afternoon, mostly cloudy early, gradually coming sunny. Warm is the good part. High of 77 today with winds. They're going to be out of the southwest early, 5 to 10. As the day progresses, they'll shift to the southwest, increasing 15 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Tonight, the winds pick up. Patchy blowing dust after midnight, mostly clear with an overnight low of 41. Winds will be picking up out of the southwest 20 to 25, increasing 30 to 35. Could see wind gusts tonight as high as 50 miles per hour. For Friday, it continues widespread blowing dust, mainly between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Sunny and 61 tomorrow, but the winds will be out of the west 30 to 35, increasing 40 to 45, gusting as high as 65 miles per hour tomorrow. That's like minor hurricane, I'm pretty sure. I mean, that's like a class 2, I think, hurricane, or 1, but it's not a big one, but still. Hurricane. We're not supposed to get hurricanes in New Mexico. We ain't got no water. That's the one benefit. No hurricane, no water. All right, good. Now, here we go. It's a dusticane. But we'll get that with those 65-mile-an-hour winds. Friday night, patchy blowing dust before 7, mostly cloudy. Overnight low of 36. Winds will be out of the west, 25 to 30. Gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. They'll drop down 15 to 20 after midnight Friday night. Saturday, we are looking at a 20% chance of showers for the afternoon. Mostly sunny and a high of 60. Winds will be out of the northwest, around 20 miles per hour, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Sunday, sunny and 71, no talk of the winds. And then Monday back into 80 for a high next week. But then I see 80 on Tuesday, but they throw that word windy in. So it looks like we'll be living in a blow dryer next week. All right, 7:22. We're going to take a quick 3.5-minute break, and then Ruben's going to join us from Richland, talking about their big 3-day pre-owned inventory sale. They basically moved all their pre-owned inventory to the Dodge store at the Y there, and so for the next several days, if you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle, they're all at one spot, so you can find it. But we'll talk with Ruben, talk about all that's on tap for the weekend here on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Get ready to boogie at the Spencer Theater for the Performing Arts. On Saturday, March 15th at 7 p.m., experience When Disco Was King, featuring the Kings of Disco, all former members of the world-famous Village People. Dance the night away to hits from legends like the Bee Gees, Donna Summer, and Earth, Wind & Fire. Get your tickets today by visiting spencertheater.com or by calling the box office at 575-336-4800. We'll see you at the Spencer.
Are you ready to succeed? The health education programs at ENMU Roswell can set you up for success with a wide variety of courses such as emergency medical services, fire science, medical assisting, nursing, and respiratory therapy. ENMU Roswell can prepare you for a rewarding career in the healthcare industry. ENMUR stacks courses in order to get the student into a job as quickly as possible while creating a pathway for more advanced certifications, licenses, and degrees. Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. Success starts here.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
Have you experienced the Valley Cafe yet? It's much more than lunch or dinner. It's an experience. Chef Anthony Noble is a nominated Chef of the Year and manager with a 4.9 out of 5 kitchen cleanliness rating and a 4.8 out of 5 most love rating. It's time for you to experience the difference that so many others already have at the Valley Cafe. Visit for lunch or dinner at 801 West Brasher, the orange building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. And save the Valley Cafe in your contacts. 575-755-EATS. 575-755-3287. Don't forget, we can cater your event too, and a portion of our proceeds go to the Dream Center in Roswell.
Hey you, Seth Pena at Richland Auto. It's March Madness at Richland Dodge, and we're not talking about basketball, but amazing deals on vehicles. It's game on for a used car sale at Richland on Southeast Main. Score big on a wide selection of high-quality used cars at unbeatable prices. With over 100 vehicles to choose from, all with mad savings and special financing options. So take advantage of our madness. At the Richland Dodge Used Car Sale, get a slam dunk deal on your dream car. It's only at Richland Dodge, March 13th through the 15th at 1309 Southeast Main Street.
The need for American-made energy is forecasted to increase by over 50% over the next couple of decades. Coyote Willow Energy Park is a resilient, clean, and affordable solution to this increasing demand being planned in Chavez County. Join us at the Coyote Willow Energy Park Open House to learn more about the role Chavez County can play in meeting the need for an increased supply of reliable domestic energy. The project will provide a significant amount of new local job opportunities, millions of dollars of new local tax revenue, and local investments. Plus, it helps lower greenhouse gas emissions and improves grid reliability. It's a win for the local economy and the future of Chavez County. Stop by the Chavez County Joy Center in Roswell on March 27th between 5:30 and 8 p.m. Meet the team, ask questions, and discover how Coyote Willow Energy Park is powering a brighter future for Chavez County. Visit www.coyotewillowep.com to learn more and RSVP.
The tool used to measure your feet at the shoe store is called a Brannock device. The person that measures your feet at home for no reason is called a creep with a foot fetish. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning from Richland. I always got to do it that way.
Richland?
I don't know if Freddie just put that in my brain or what, but when I hear Richland, I don't hear Richland. I hear Richland. But anyway. But Ruben Love joining us from Richland this morning. Morning, Ruben.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How's life at the dealership today?
Life is amazing. Matter of fact, Yvonne is not with us because she is already getting
working
started.
The deals and getting the day going.
Yes,
so
we have
the ground running.
Yes, we have appointments showing up already.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you think, I don't know, now that I think about it, I never think about it, but I feel like a dealership, on like during the week, because the weekends you got to be early because people are up out and at them early. But during the week, there's not a lot of people at 7 in the morning rushing out to buy a car. You know what I mean? But there is sometimes.
There is.
Richland's like, we'll make an appointment. We'll meet you at 6:30 if we need to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Being in sales, whether you're selling real estate, selling cars, you're never off. You're never off. And we have a great BDC department that's selling across the nation.
Sure.
So.
Well, and it's kind of, and this is something we all been talking about, with COVID and everything we've been dealing with over the last half dozen years or so here. And, Richland's always been that adapt on the fly kind of mindset. Every time I bring Richland, I know we're 6 years from or 5 years from it here, but this is a proof of what, when we talk about business and sale, because let's face it, you buy a car, you can buy a car at a lot of places.
Exactly.
You can buy a Dodge or a Chevy at a lot of places. But, where's the difference? It's the customer service. It's how you feel about the sale, how you're treated, what happens when you drive the vehicle off the lot. And this is something that you guys have always been about. And during COVID, there was a lot of price gouging, it's supply and demand. And when you got the supply, you can demand what you want. And a lot of dealerships are doing that. And you were paying sometimes 2-3 times sticker price on some of these vehicles. Richland never pulled that move. In fact, this was Richland drew a regional customer base during COVID because they were one of the honest dealerships. Kind of doing people right instead of taking advantage of the situation here. And so that's the mindset every time at Richland. Absolutely. Now we're in a world where we don't have those issues right now, but they still keep that same mindset where, look, we're not trying to sell you just a car tomorrow. When you're done with this car, we want you to come back.
Yes.
When your kids are out of age to start getting their first car, we want you to come on down to Richland, which next 3 days is a good weekend if you're looking for first cars for your kids. But this is what the reputation you guys do. And so that's why I always like to make sure that selling point gets out every time. It's like, look, you can buy cars at a lot of places, but the folks, and it doesn't matter if it's the GM store or the Dodge store, you walk in there and they treat, and I'm not joking when I say you could literally walk in there and if you catch them at the right times, like, sit down, we're having lunch.
Yeah.
Come have a burger, come have some chicken with us.
Yes.
That's not a joke. That's how they roll there. So that's what I'm saying. It's much more big time buying power with hometown customer service.
Yeah, everybody that's coming by, they really appreciate our process and the aspect of, boy, this was so easy. Like they're surprised how easy it is and how fun it can be to buy a car. And that's what we try to, instill with us and with all our salespeople is like, yeah, we do this every day, but our customers, they do.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, this is a big deal. And they're only doing this once every, 3, 4, 5, 10 years.
Yeah.
So we want it to be a pleasant experience.
Especially for first-time people that are new to it and don't know. And quite frankly, if you don't know, it can be an intimidating experience, especially the world they talk about. I mean, even in commercials and stuff, they tell you, oh, get ready to fight. You're going to the car dealership. I mean, they literally instill that mindset in people.
Yeah.
And so you guys kind of diffuse all that and do that. And then after they buy their first car, it's like, that was not nearly the fight I was expecting. That was actually nice. And guess what happens?
Yeah.
When they run the course of that car and they're ready for a new one, they're back at the Richland, either one, and maybe their taste have changed. They're like, I had a Dodge, I want to get a Chevy this time or whatever. But they're in the Richland, the brand. They're riding with the brand.
Yeah, we try to price our vehicles to where we're in the top 5% of the nation. So we're looking around, and we'll go out if we've got to go out 300, 400 miles. So dipping into the Albuquerque, Lubbock, even out to Tucson, Phoenix, Dallas area. We want to make sure that the vehicle that we have is going to be the best price, because we after years of research, no matter which dealership you're at, no matter which brand you're selling, the number one complaint for people was the haggle, the back and the forth.
Sure.
Well, why can't you just give me your best price up front?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we do at Richland.
Sure.
We
cut through all the well, and again, it's what can we bleed out of you? That's the negotiation.
Yeah.
It's like you're trying to beat them up. They're trying to beat you up. That's the whole point. You know?
Yeah.
And I don't know. And you know what? And if you love that, because I know there's some mostly dudes. There's a few dudes that
old school.
That's their and to be honest, there's whole cultures. But I mean, if you go into like Middle Eastern culture, that's part of the deal.
Oh yeah.
The negotiation. That's just part of it's like you ain't doing it right unless you're doing it that way. So.
I was in Turkey in August. And my brother-in-law's from Turkey, and so that's what we were doing over there. And every time he'd be like, all right, before we even turn the corner, he's like, shut up, don't say anything, let me do the talking.
Yeah. When I was in Kuwait, I dealt with similarly. It's just the staple of Middle Eastern culture. That's how they do business.
Oh yeah,
and they love it. So,
oh yeah.
So if that's your thing, you know what? They'll argue with you if you like it. Hey, argue with you a little bit. Ruben could rustle up a salesman that'll go toe to toe with you if you want.
It won't be at our dealership, but
I mean, we could do that with it. We can
for fun.
We got a few wrestling fans. We could do the work here on if you want in the dealership.
Freddie is a huge wrestling fan.
We can do the work if we want to do that.
And if you want to go toe to toe with somebody, I'll put you up against my best. We'll put you up against Freddie. He's got the luchador mask.
There you go. So we could go there. But normally we don't have to do all that.
No,
we come down, have a beverage, maybe lunch, and we'll figure this out.
Absolutely.
Here. But what we really want to invite folks out is come out to the Dodge store here, because the next couple days they're going to be doing a big used car inventory event. They've basically taken all the used cars that are in the current Richland inventory and have moved them to the Dodge store there at the Y, like on South and Southeast Main. Like y'all know where it's at, right there.
Yes, sir.
Get on down there, and they're going to have that patch of asphalt's going to be packed from one side to the other of great late model quality pre-owned vehicles. And that's why I kind of said, with college kids, if you're looking for, you can find some great deals on those too. But of course, if you're looking for a practically brand new vehicle, you just didn't want to pay the new car sticker price, this weekend's
that's going to be the place right there. We have something to cover every aspect of, no matter what you think, what you've been told somewhere else, whether you're too upside down, or your credit's not great. That's the beauty of working with us at Richland. Yvonne was on both sides. Yvonne worked for years and years in the credit union, and so on the banking side of the business. So she knows both sides.
Well, and this is the thing that this is where this is like exactly what you're talking about here. It's when it comes to credit scores and getting all that, there are so many formulas and variables on determining this stuff. Well, guess what? Getting the loan approved is also the same thing. There's many variables and boxes you can check, and if you don't check boxes here, there's other options here. But The only way you know that is you got to have people that kind of know the system and how to work it. And that's where you guys have, your Freddies and Yvonne's. These folks have been doing this for years. And they have great relationships with all the local lending institutes. So whoever you're banking with or want to bank with, odds are Richland has a relationship with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's what we're talking about is where other people say I don't have the knowledge or the ability to get you through on that.
Mm-hmm.
Richland's going home with beer. Let me see what I got here, because we know some angles that we can do this.
We've got the banking side covered. Yeah. We've got the right inventory, whether it's a new vehicle, a pre-owned vehicle, whether you're a first-time buyer, this is your 30th vehicle. There's a lot of professional buyers out there.
Come on down. Yeah,
come on down. Come.
And here's the cool part too is in our day of modern age, with Richland, between the websites, the Dodge and the GM websites, you can see all their vehicles online. So if you want it, like right now, if you're like, well, I'm not ready to walk the lot, I ain't gonna lie, tomorrow's not gonna be the best of weather days.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're like, I want to see them, but I don't. Get online.
Start
looking. Start talk. You can actually start the sale process and do all that right there online too.
There's an easy button on our website. We can't make it any easier to buy a car. You don't have to deal with a salesperson.
Yeah.
You hit the easy button and you can structure the deal yourself.
Yeah.
How you want, how much money down, your trade value.
You can go as high tech on this sale or as low tech as you want.
Exactly.
And they'll deliver the cars to you. They literally do all of that stuff.
I delivered a vehicle to New Jersey the other day.
Oh, wow.
To a gentleman that actually owns a dealer. He's like, boy, your price is cheaper than what I can get it out here.
Dealers are buying.
Yeah, dealers are buying from us.
At sticker price.
Yes. Yes.
Or, your price.
Yeah. Now, he's probably turning around and selling, and that's his prerogative, but hey,
I'm sure that car is going to be a few grand more on his lot in Jersey or wherever he went to.
Absolutely.
But, man, did you drive that or hauler it?
No, we hauled it.
That eats into the miles.
Yeah. No, we've got a pretty good. Now that we're selling from coast to coast, I have a pretty good selection of different transport companies that work with us.
You can work with.
Within a few hundred miles, we have a guy here that'll shuffle for us.
Now, this is nothing to do with anything, but as a fan of a dumb TV show that was on about 10 years ago, I'm curious. You remember those? Like they had those Storage War shows.
Oh, yeah.
Those? Well, there was one of those that was like a trucking one, and basically people would bid on hauling things around the country.
That's how it works.
Is it just like that?
It's exactly like that.
I was curious if that's.
There's several guys that they're salesmen also, so they're trying to get business for their drivers.
Okay.
So they'll call me sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. Hey, I just talked to you. I don't have anything right now, but as soon as I do, I've got your number, and I'll let you know. And
cool.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Now I want to know, like, are those characters like? I mean,
they're
characters.
Just
like those.
They're characters.
There's a guy you're like, okay, I mean, they're on the road all day. They got to get squirrely brained after a while.
Yeah,
their whole lives are on the road. If they're anything like that show, then their pretty much whole lives are centered around that they're hauling and where they're going and where they live on the road. That's their life. So.
Yeah.
But I was just curious.
We
got down there. I was like, I'm kind of curious. But if you want to start coming today. Come on down.
Please.
Today's going to be a little less windy if you want to avoid maybe tomorrow and you want to walk the lot and see and smell the new cars and, do all that stuff. Come on down today or over the next through the weekend here.
Yes,
come on down.
Absolutely.
Is it at wrap up Monday and then they start going back to their homes?
Yeah, on Monday we'll start whatever's left over. Probably won't be a whole lot left over. I've got a really good selection.
It's first come first serve. Okay?
Exactly.
So today's the better day because what you see today you will not see the same tomorrow or Saturday
that's correct.
Or Sunday for that matter.
That's correct.
And to be honest, these are priced to move, so you're going to find like if you come today and you see the car and that's the baby you want, you might want to start working the deal because someone else is going to spot it and think it's the baby they want for today.
Yeah. If it's not somebody locally, it's going to be somebody in Texas, in Colorado, in Michigan.
Again, built that reputation where people they say, hey, they're square dealing people. We're going to go down there and see what they got and see if we can take advantage of that too. So do that for yourself, and you don't have to drive 100 miles. You got You got to go down to the Y.
Right here.
That's it. And then, of course, don't forget, too, if your current vehicle needs service or anything like that, it doesn't matter which come on down. Obviously, if you have a GM product or something, take it on down to the GM store. And if it's Dodge, Chrysler, Ram, take it on down to the Dodge store. But they work on all makes and models. So if you got a Toyota or something else, either dealership can service that too. And they've got, people with probably more degrees in mechanics than you've got regular degrees working on your vehicle down there.
I tell you, with all the certification that our techs have to go through, it's more so you learning how to use the computers to.
I'm not trying to make anybody mad here, but I think we're shifting to where, like, if you look at a car dealership, the smartest guys in the building are now in the mechanics room.
Oh, yeah.
Where before, it was always the shop guy, you know what I mean? And then on the floor. But now it's kind of the guys with all the degrees and they're back in the garage, turning wrenches.
Yes, absolutely.
But if you need all that work, don't hesitate to get that done and come on down. And you know what? You can score some good eats. If you're like, you come down to get an oil change or something, you catch it at lunchtime, and it's like Taco Bell rolls in. Hey, you want some tacos? We got a 20-pack.
Well, when you purchase from us at Richland, you become a brand champion.
Yeah, and that's
so
the other
you
thing
get
too,
all your oil changes for the life that you own the vehicle, 50% off.
Yeah.
And oil changes, I was looking around out there, they're up above $100 now for an oil change.
The $20 oil change is going.
Oh, yeah. I remember those good old days. And then you also get powertrain for life. So if you get your maintenance done with us, we cover the engine and transmission for the life that you own the vehicle on most of our vehicles.
The guts of that car is covered for life on that thing.
Yeah, there's so many reasons to buy from us. Not only.
And of course, if you want upgrades and custom, especially if you're like, Jeep people, they love to upgrade, discounts on parts and labor and service and all that when you do that kind of stuff through the dealership too. And of course, if you need rides, need a loaner. Well, you're getting your stuff. They work with you on all
Absolutely.
that. That's again to the point I'm talking about here. And this is like my Jeep. I bought my Jeep from Richland and I've had it. I've just realized I've had that thing 7 years. And of course, I told Freddie, he's like, "You're about due."
You're about due. That was the first thing I was going to tell you. I better see you this weekend.
You know what? I'm not there yet, but I'm percolating.
Okay.
So I just love my Jeep so much that I don't want to let go. No, it's my Jeep, but like a new Jeep, it would be nice. But anyway, never mind.
We're getting into Jeep weather.
That's right. But literally, when I walk in there, and this is not because I'm Mike the radio guy. This happens every. You literally walk in there and they just, hey, have a seat. You want something to eat? Want something to drink? Hey, we're gonna. You get there. Hey, and like when you go buy the cars and stuff. Hey, I know you're a Jeep guy, especially with customers they see all the time. You're a Jeep guy. You know what? Just take that Jeep for a day, drive it, check it out. Do it. That's what they do. Here's the keys. Go.
Yeah.
Just take it for a day. Try it. If you don't like that one, bring it back. We'll give you another one. That's how they roll. It's literally. Like, to me, this is what it was like when we were a kid, without the negotiations, but that mindset of, just where everything now, you got to fill out a form, do license, which I get it because of legal and all that, but you guys still, you guys run it like, literally like Floyd the Barber, Mayberry. You just roll on in but obviously with the big guns and the deep resources and things like that. But at the end of the day, when Joe and Jane Doe roll into the door, you get treated like, hey, welcome in, come on in, like you're in Mayberry, hanging out with the town folk.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
It's exactly what it is.
And that's what I love about Richland and love. So if you're really looking for a vehicle, by the way, if you're still looking for a new vehicle, both dealerships got a fine selection right now. If you're looking for Jeeps, Rams, come on down to the Dodge dealership. We got a great selection of new vehicles on top of all the pre-owned stuff, and I bet there's some pretty good incentives on.
There's some great incentives on the whole Chrysler, the Stellantis line. Your Rams, your Jeeps, the Dodges, and some of those you can get, just like it's a pre-owned vehicle.
Sure.
The way that they're priced.
And I know Jeeps generally, especially with their Wranglers and Gladiators, they don't put incentives out often on those because they don't have to.
Yeah.
But I think they do have some out right
now.
Yeah,
they actually have some out right now.
So what I'm saying is that's rare.
Now's
take
the time.
advantage of that. So come on down and do that. And of course, if you're a GM guy, they got a great selection of trucks, or you want your Caddy, or whatever you're after, or your Corvette, I get you.
Ooh, we've got a beautiful Z06 right now, pre-owned, low miles.
I'm telling you, man, Corvettes over the last, I don't know, 8 years or so, they look like, I just grew up to, because I grew up to the 70s, 80s, and the 90s vets, and you know how those look, and they're always sports cars, but they never looked like your Ferraris and Lamborghinis and well, now all the other McLarens and all the other models of cars, but back then it was mostly Ferraris, Lamborghinis, occasional Porsche. But you know what I mean? Vets didn't look like those. They had their own unique look. But now you look at these vets, and I'm like, man, these things look like the Lamborghinis from the 80s.
And they perform as well, if not better than most of these.
They put out the numbers, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was the other difference, where a Lamborghini could do a quarter mile in about, 4 seconds, and a Corvette was about 6 seconds. Now they're about dead even.
Yeah.
So, either way, they're insanely fast. But come on down. If you're looking for that, we got your toys too.
Yeah, whatever your flavor is, whatever you like, we have it right now.
Yeah.
We've got a really good selection of some exotic imports, and
if you're looking for pre-owned is really on the Dodge store. Like I said, if you're looking for like a first high school car, we've got a great selection of those. But literally, if you're looking at a car that's like a year old, that's got very low mileage, it's practically a brand new car. It just is a year old. You're gonna find those there too, and of course, SUVs, trucks, those are always big and popular. But if you're looking for fuel efficient too, some of our, I get it. You're doing a lot of hauling or driving to and from work, and you're going to Carlsbad or Hobbs or something like that every day. Maybe one of these cars that get 40, 50 miles to the gallon might be something along your.
Or our EV.
Yeah, or an EV. Yeah,
if you haven't driven that, just to satisfy the curiosity, come and see what that truck will do.
Yeah, Fred and I, when he was in a couple weeks ago, we were talking a little bit about that. He says, "Man, it's impressive, and the technology's getting better. That's the thing. When we talk about these EVs, it's going to happen. Once the infrastructure gets in place, and to be honest, once the technology can match gasoline, which they're going to get, they're getting there.
I think they're there. You're being able to tow, and the range you're being able to do, and then GM. If you buy an EV, they'll call you up and help you if you want to set up a charger at home and set it up the different levels depending on what level you want.
But I know, like the state of New Mexico is making a huge push, and I'm going to say within the next 5 years, you're going to see 5 times the amount of state charging ports and stations start popping up.
We have 2 everywhere. I think 2 or 3 coming up at our store.
Yeah,
that they're
because that's the big thing right now. It's like, how do I get point A and point B with a charge? And it's obviously in more urban settings they've got more of them, but then more people, more chargers, more things. But that I know in the legislature and all that, like or love it or like it, what they're doing is they're making it set the table. So basically that they're going to have charging places all over the state. When you are in the middle of an interstate and there's 30 miles between towns, there's a charging thing somewhere.
These trucks and all the EVs for that matter, they're so smart that they calculate if you put what your destination is, they'll show you, all right, these are the spots on the way.
Like a Google Maps.
Yeah, exactly. They show you, all right, hey, you can make it to here.
Cool.
And this is a good charging spot. And here's the restaurants around, or here's the mall to where you can go.
So it kind of
go grab you something.
Shows you how to do the lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so if you're looking for that as an option, come talk to and this is the other thing too, is your sales folks are experts. So they know they spend hours going through the bells and whistles on all these cars. So when you sit down and it's literally, because I get it, I'm that guy. I grew up in that age where like there's more buttons in this car.
Oh yeah,
and more. I'm like, I'm used to the headlights on the floor. I'm used to, I get it.
Yeah.
But they'll show you all that stuff, and then you like it using. You're like, man, this is way better.
Yeah, I think almost all our guys. We went to Fort Worth and got to drive on the Texas Motor Speedway. So they had we drove on the track, we drove on the highway, we drove with a load, towing another vehicle.
So experience exactly.
Yeah. So it's not like we got certified on a computer. We actually did what you're going to do with this vehicle, and we're going to show you how you can use this in your everyday life.
And they can give you the real report on that too. Yeah. So if it's towing or something, it's like I did experience this, but you did this and it compensates for that or something because they physically did it.
Mm-hmm.
Because every vehicle's everything. It's kind of, everybody's got their own little not quirks, but just everything's different sometimes. So when you get a new vehicle, you got to find its groove.
Well, it's hard. It's hard to believe when you're reading what these trucks are capable of, or these vehicles are capable of, until you actually do it.
Sure.
Well,
and that's the other thing too. And Freddie have had those conversations where we grew up in that era where a pickup truck was a truck, it's a work truck, and now
that's the family vehicle.
It's a luxury office in there with screens as big as 30-inch screens and everything else, and suspension that is nothing like a pickup truck.
Wi-Fi for the kids.
It's literally a home base. It's a rolling home base, and they got them. If Richland, whether if you're a GM guy, they got brand new ones. They got a fine selection of Silverados and the likes there. If you're a Ram guy, come on down and get to Ram, and of course pre-owned, they got all of them. Even a few Fords out there.
every base, we have every base covered. We have every credit situation covered. Come on down, give us a shot.
Let them work for you. Come on down, kick the tires, or go at the bare minimum. Get online this morning and check out the websites there. Now, are all the pre-owned stuff on the Dodge website, or do you know off the top of your head?
You can reach them off of either website. Actually,
okay, they're actually. If you want, just Google Richland. That's because it's like CG.
RL Chevrolet is the Chevy, and then RichlandCDJR.com.
There you go. I knew there was something in there. I can never remember those, so that I just Google Richland Roswell and it pops right up. And don't forget, like and follow the Facebook pages.
Yes,
and the
please.
Dodge and GM stores both have Facebook pages, and I'm not going to lie, this is where they get a little goofy sometimes. That's where you come have some fun, and that's where you see the family side I'm talking about.
Oh yeah,
they when they're not working and hustling there, they
like to make funny TikToks.
Yeah, they do creative little skits and bits and commercials and things to kind of see their personality a little bit, and that's kind of what you get. So I highly recommend you like and follow, and of course whenever there's big things like this weekend going on, you're the first to know through those Facebook pages.
Absolutely.
Good deal. Ruben, is there anything we missed or anything we got sidebarred on that you wanted to cover? I know we'll have I'm not sure who's coming in tomorrow, but we'll have some more folks in tomorrow to talk about it too.
Yes. No, I think we got everything covered. I mean, I'm just excited to see y'all out. Come on by, give us a call. Take something for a drive, even if you're not sure, even if you think that I'm months or years out, or I was told at this dealership that I can't trade. That's not the case. Come and talk to us. Let us show you.
You've been told no before?
Yes.
Come on down to Richland. You might be pleasantly surprised.
You'll definitely be pleasantly surprised. Just on the process and everything.
Well, just they really legit. They work angles. They know how to do it. Kind of like when I have Elliot on from Loan Depot talking about home mortgages. It's the same deal. Yeah. If you know how to manage and the numbers and you know how to work the system, you can find a lot of things. And that's what the Richland finance guys, when they're in there on the computers looking, doing, when the salesman goes to the finance guy, those finance guys really, really are good at turning over stones, going at angles, programs. You got certain situations and programs. They're very good at finding those kinds of things. That's what they do.
Yeah, I've been doing this for 25 years now, and is
that kind of what you do now? I know you kind of do a little bit of everything.
I can do a little bit of everything. I'm the jack of all trades. I'm not the best at all of them or any of them, but I'm good. I know who the best are. I know to call Yvonne. Hey, Yvonne, this is my situation.
And you know what?
Or Freddie, this is what I got going on. Or Tiffany, hey,
Is the smartest guy in the room the guy that knows it all or knows how to get it all?
Exactly.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yep. I'm just the one that'll go out there and shake the hand and, hey, I got it done. I'll take the credit.
Yeah.
But
working smarter, not harder. That was a whole mantra in the Air Force. But
exactly.
But come on down to Richland. Now, like I said, the pre-owned sales all at the Dodge store. But if you're looking for a brand new GM product, don't hesitate. Come on down to the GM. They'd love to see you. Might be. I know. I think they leave a few salesmen to keep the home fires burning over at the GM store, but I'm going to guess the bulk are going to be hanging over at the Dodge store this weekend.
And then online, you have Scott and his team in our BDC department that'll work it all up for you online, and then all you have to do is tell us, all right, do you want it delivered to your house? Do you want to come pick it up?
Right. We got you covered.
We got you covered.
Awesome. Well, Ruben, thank you very much.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
Don't get blown away this weekend. Put a few rocks in the pocket, and we'll see you next time.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, 7:54. Let's pause for stock market report update, SRN update, and some commercials to pay for lunch, and then we'll get you in the news. Don't go away.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. U.S. inflation slowed last month for the first time since September, and the measure of underlying inflation fell to a 4-year low, even as widespread tariffs threatened to send prices higher. The Trump administration put 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminum imports. The president said that the U.S. would double that to 50% if they came from Canada, but pulled back on that threat after the province of Ontario suspended its plans. The tariffs will likely drive up costs for American companies that use the metals, such as automakers, construction firms, and beverage makers that use cans. The U.S. budget deficit totaled $307 billion for President Donald Trump's first full month in office. That's up 4% or $11 billion from a year ago. And egg prices again reached a record high last month. The latest monthly consumer price index showed a dozen grade A eggs cost an average of $5.90 in the United States. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Artesia Main Street is bringing the fun to downtown. On Friday, March 28th, following the main event car cruise, enjoy the Downtown Street Dance with live music from Mammoth Cults. Plus food trucks, great tunes, and an evening of nonstop fun, all with free admission. Don't miss the Downtown Street Dance with music from Mammoth Cults happening Friday, March 28th, 6:30 p.m. in the heart of downtown Artesia. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Hey you, Seth Pena at Richland Auto. It's March Madness at Richland Dodge, and we're not talking about basketball, but amazing deals on vehicles. It's game on for a used car sale at Richland on Southeast Main. Score big on a wide selection of high-quality used cars at unbeatable prices. With over 100 vehicles to choose from, all with mad savings and special financing options. So take advantage of our madness. At the Richland Dodge used car sale, get a slam dunk deal on your dream car. It's only at Richland Dodge, March 13th through the 15th at 1309 Southeast Main Street.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Some wounds need expert care to heal properly. At Artesia General Hospital's Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center, we use advanced treatments like hyperbaric oxygen therapy to help chronic wounds heal faster. If you or a loved one has a wound that won't heal, call 575-736-8235 today and take the first step toward recovery.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
Double up days are back at Roswell Honda, and that means double your down payment. $500 becomes $1,000. $1,000 becomes $2,000. Up to $2,000 means $4,000 towards your next new or pre-owned vehicle, like a 2020 Chevy Silverado priced under $30,000, a 2022 Dodge Charger SXT slashed to under $24,000, or a 2016 Ford F-150 priced under $20,000. Double up and save during double up days on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Let's go to the results from yesterday at the state basketball tournament in Albuquerque, the 5A bracket. Roswell High is the 4th seed, and they took on the 12th seeded Farmington Scorpions. No upset this time for the Scorpions. Roswell blows out Farmington by a score of 76-42 to move to 24-7 on the season. Farmington finishes at 20-11. So up next for Roswell, a game against number 1, Volcano Vista. That's tonight at 8:15. Volcano Vista blew out La Cueva 82-48. And yesterday's game for Roswell, the Coyotes scored 51 points in the first half. Cy Carrasco led the way with 17 points. This game tonight will be a rematch of a game at the Clovis tournament between the two teams. Volcano Vista won that 91-65. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
National Protection Agency under President Trump is charting a new course, cutting regulatory red tape, taking a more energy-friendly stance under its new administrator.
The list of changes range from coal-fired power plants, climate change, and electric vehicles. EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin said, quote, "We are driving a dagger through the heart of climate change religion and ushering in Americans' golden age," end quote. Zeldin said if approved, the Trump administration's actions will eliminate trillions of dollars in regulatory costs and hidden taxes, lowering the cost of living for American families by reducing prices when buying a car, heating your home, and operating a business. Zeldin said it isn't about abandoning environmental protection. It's about achieving it through innovation and not strangulation. Tasha Stevens reporting.
The Labor Department says the rate of increase in wholesale inflation slowed last month. Year over year, producer prices were up 3.2% in February, but that was down from a year-over-year gain of 3.7% in January. Senate Democrats appear ready to shut down the government tomorrow night. They oppose a Republican stopgap spending bill that was approved by the House that would fund the government through September. Democrats insist on a 30-day spending bill. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer saying that Republicans lack the votes to get their plan through the Senate. Parts of fire-scarred Los Angeles County are under evacuation orders. There are fears that torrential rains could unleash mudslides and destructive debris flows. After 9 months stuck on the International Space Station, a couple of astronauts will have to wait a while longer before heading home. A launch pad glitch forcing SpaceX to delay a mission to the space station. The Dow down 175. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
G7 ministers meeting in Canada, the U.S. delegation led by Secretary of State Rubio. The European member nations are coming off their own security meetings over the past few days.
This was the third meeting of the recently formed E5 group of nations. France, the UK, Germany, Italy and Poland being Europe's 5 biggest spenders on defence. The aim was twofold: to step up military aid to Ukraine, Ukraine's own army being, in the words of French Minister Sébastien Lecornu, its best guarantee of security for the future, and second, to outline priorities in European defence as the continent seeks to replace a less than certain American commitment. According to Lecornu, these include missile defence, space defence and re-industrialisation.
The BBC's Hugh Schofield. Taiwan's president says tougher measures needed to counter stepped-up Chinese infiltration, spying and other efforts to weaken the defenses of the self-governing island. News and analysis at townhall.com. Calling all classic car buffs, Ford celebrating its roots dating all the way back to the dawn of the automotive age.
About 50 cars and trucks that are part of Ford's heritage fleet are on display in Dearborn. Employees and members of the media got a chance to take a look this week. They'll be available for viewing as part of Bring Your Child to Work Day at the automaker's headquarters next month. Company CEO Jim Farley ordered the creation of a U.S.-based collection more than a year ago. Some highlights include a series of Mustang performance vehicles, a 1938 V8 ambulance, and a 2003 Ford Model T100 that replicates a 1914 Model T. Keith Peters reporting.
Census data says immigration was a driving force behind the growth of America's largest urban counties last year. The core counties of Houston, Miami, and Phoenix outpaced any others in terms of population growth. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy a windy Thursday.
Yeah.
We got the red flag warning for today. In at 10 a.m. That will remain in effect through 8 p.m. tonight. And looks like today is just a precursor for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit windy today. Tomorrow, tomorrow is going to suck.
Yeah, they're like today they're gusting to 35.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, gusting to 50. Now, tonight's when the wind's picking up. It's actually going to be windier tonight
Mm-hmm.
than it is during the day. And then tomorrow, we could see gusts as high as 65 miles
Now,
per hour.
see, and I've heard altering reports because some places are saying up to 75 miles an hour. I don't know that 10 miles an hour is going to make that much difference, but it sounds so much worse.
Either way, it's like low-level hurricane.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Bomb cyclone
Yeah,
or something.
I think category 1 hurricanes, aren't they like 65, 70 mile an hour winds?
Yeah, about that. It's it's kind of like an F1 tornado, essentially.
Yeah.
And the other thing, and this is something that was happening last week too, is it's a lot of crosswind.
Yeah.
Like you'll be, you go to expect it for coming from one way, and then all of a sudden it just changes directions and starts hitting you from another. Yeah, it's like a rope-a-dope. You're basically getting, batted about from alternate directions.
Or if you're a fan of the movie Hunt for Red October, pulls a crazy Ivan.
Wind's going all serpentine on me.
Crazy Ivan! Doc!
Crazy.
But yes, the winds are blowing. That's a great movie.
It is. I haven't seen that movie in
It's been a minute since I've seen it, but I've seen it 100 times.
Hunt for Red October is one of those movies, and I've talked about this before, how I had that, but as a family, we had that brown 3-drawered VHS pull-out drawer.
Uh-huh.
Everybody had that. I don't know
I had
how.
a cassette one.
Yeah. Oh, tapes?
Audio cassettes, yes.
But we, on the HBO free preview weekends, we would go, my dad would go down to the store and he'd get like a 3-pack of the long play tapes and he'd just tape movies.
Right.
So we had like Hunt for Red October, like The Last Boy Scout, and then like Fuzz Bucket.
Right.
It was just like 3 movies back to back to back. And that had nothing to do with each other,
Oh, yeah. Let's see. HBO preview weekends. I feel like you had to have a Gremlins in there?
We did have, I believe it was Gremlins 2. Mm-hmm. Yep. There was 48 Hours was on there. I'm trying to think. There's a bunch of them. We had the Wizard of Oz was one of those.
Yeah.
That though, I think that one we had like as just like a special because my dad had a Christmas tape too that had Wizard of Oz.
There was got to be a Batman in there. One of the Batmans. I don't know if it's a Clooney or one of the Keaton Batmans.
Maybe the original Batman.
OG.
Maybe like
be one of them in there.
Like the original Keaton
OG
Batman.
of the Batman movie.
Right. But
Adam West.
But the Christmas tape was always Wizard of Oz, It's a Wonderful Life, and Christmas Story. Those three. So I always knew exactly how many HBO movies you could fit on a long play VHS cassette.
You know what? It's funny. I can't remember if I talked about this or not, but when we went to go visit my brother and all that over Christmas, we spent the Christmas holiday there. It was really nice. But there was one, I can't remember if it was I think it was Christmas Day. Or it was Christmas Eve or Christmas. It was one of those two. And we were literally, it was a night. So I'm going to say it was Christmas Eve night.
Okay.
It was Christmas Eve night. I think the kids have gone to bed or gone to wherever. And
Sugar Plums dancing in the heads, all that.
And so we were sitting in his living room there watching, and Chris was on the remote, and he watches TV different. I guess he doesn't like. So literally, we watched two movies at once. We watched A Wonderful Life, It's a Wonderful Life, and Christmas Vacation. And basically, they were showing marathons of those movies on two different stations.
So
he was literally during commercial, like when we go to commercial, we flip over to once watch that to commercial, then flip back over to Christmas Vacation, watch that to commercial. So I pretty much saw two movies at once.
That's pretty awesome. It's funny when picture in picture became like a thing. Yeah. That was my dad's. That was the height of technology for my father. He remember. Always had picture in picture going, just so he could like switch back and forth, like when Fox News would go to break or whatever.
So the only time that was useful for me was sports. Yeah, like I was watching my Redskins game, and then maybe I'd see the Baltimore or whatever, Dallas or whoever up the PIP. Picture pip.
I don't think my dad was ever into any like sports. He was an active he was a active guy,
He's
but
a dude, but he wasn't
but he wasn't into sports. Or like I don't specifically ever remember a team he followed besides like the Cowboys, but that was just because regionality, because Oklahoma. I don't think that there was ever a team, and maybe that's why I'm so kind of tacit on
sports. Yeah.
On sports in general. It's just like I don't have any familial skin in the game.
My dad wasn't really either. My dad, like, he claimed, but he really didn't.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He didn't know. It was my brother and I were just sports guys. We like playing it. My uncle.
I was gonna say your uncle was more into like the sports betting side of things.
Yeah, you want to know about the ponies? You want to know about the spread? He's all on that.
What's the over under on so and so?
I mean, literally, my brother and I watched gambling shows Sunday mornings every morning with my uncle. It was kind of a. It's one of those warm fuzzies I get when I think of memories. I'm the Duke. Anyway, 1, 2, turn 2. They're all mafia.
Dude, I can't tell you how mind blown I was when you actually showed me the 1, 2, turn 2 thing. I'm a simple man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a simple man, but that blew my mind.
Yeah.
That's right up there with with the old Chuck Woolery 2 and 2 back at you. Which, come to find out, is because the commercial break on Love Connection was 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
2 and 2. Yeah, that's
2 and 2.
About. But yeah, he did that whole 1, 2, turn 2. Yeah. 1, 2, turn 2.
That is brilliant.
You got to have the video stream to see. Enjoy that little nugget. All right, let me get the hour going.
Yes.
We're going to get you up to date with the weather here in just a second. It's a big bag of not good. And so we'll do that here. And then we are going to replay our interview we had yesterday. We had the ladies from the Chavez County Federated Republican Women join us to discuss their next meeting, which will be next Wednesday at the Elks Lodge there. And they do their monthly meetings the third Wednesday of the month. And so they give us a preview of what's on tap for next week's meeting. So we'll play that interview for you here.
Yes, sir.
In just a few. We do have basketball action tonight as your Coyotes in the semifinals matchup. They're going to take on the 1 seed Volcano Vista. They defeated the 12 seed Farmington yesterday in quarterfinal action. That game will take place tonight at approximately 8:15. It's the late game. It's scheduled for 8:15, but it is the tournament. And sometimes those games throughout the day kind of get long, and so it may start at 8:30 or whenever. But around 8:15, we're going to have that game for you tonight right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. We will have audio only, also on the video channel at ksvptv.com in the Coyote channel there. Art and Kelly will be calling that game for you tonight, and if they win tonight, they are playing for a blue trophy tomorrow night. That game will take place at 8 p.m. Tomorrow night. We will also have that for you on the radio if the Coyotes get the big win tonight. They got to beat Volcano Vista tonight in the semis before we talk about tomorrow. But if they do, we will have it here for you. And, of course, Bulldog action as well. They are in the semifinals. I believe they play it. Hold on, now I forgot. I believe it was like 3 o'clock today. They're in their semifinal, like 6:30 tonight. I apologize. They play at 6:30 tonight against Espanola Valley. That's Artesia's the 2 seed, Espanola Valley the 3 seed. If they win, they will play for a blue trophy as well tomorrow at 4 p.m. And so we'll have that game. We'll have the game at 6:30 tonight on our sister station, 990 AM KSVP. You can also hear audio only on the Artesia Bulldog channel there, ksvptv.com. All right, it is 8:15. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty windy today and then very windy tomorrow. We have a low pressure system moving just off to our north. We will have some cloud cover today with some sunshine, wind gusting to about 35 and our afternoon high in the upper 70s. Very windy for the overnight hours. A slim chance of shower, our low dropping to 40. Pretty gusty on Friday, wind at 45 to 60 miles an hour and partly sunny. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 42 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 51%. Winds are pretty chill at the moment out of the south at 3 miles per hour. That will change. We do have a red flag warning that's going to take effect at 10 a.m. today. That will remain in effect through 8 p.m. this evening. They're talking a day of patchy blowing dust about after 2 today, mostly cloudy. Yeah, it's still pretty cloudy out. And then gradually becoming sunny today. We are going to be warm. Expect 77 for a high. Winds will be out of the southwest 5 to 10 this morning, increasing out of the southwest 15 to 25 this afternoon. We could see wind gusts as high as 35 miles per hour. Tonight, it will get windier. It's a little different. Usually the winds calm down at night for us, not tonight. Tonight, the winds will actually increase. Expect patchy blowing dust after midnight. Expect an overnight low of 41 with the winds out of the southwest, 20 to 25, increasing 30 to 35. Could see wind gusts as high as 50 miles per hour this evening. Friday. Matter of fact, the RISD, they are going to virtual learning for Friday tomorrow. Get with your schools and all that information about that. And it's because of what I'm about to tell you. Expect widespread blowing dust tomorrow, mainly between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Sunny, if you can see that between the dust. 61 for a high, but the winds are going to be a-blowing. Out of the west, 30 to 35 miles per hour, increasing 40 to 45 miles per hour. Could see wind gusts as high as 65 miles per hour tomorrow. Tomorrow night, patchy blowing dust before 7, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 36. Winds will be out of the west. 25 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. Winds will decrease down 15 to 20 later in the evening. For Saturday, we are looking at a 20% chance for afternoon showers, otherwise sunny, and 60 with northwest winds at around 20 miles per hour. Could see wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour on Saturday. Sunday, we're looking at sunny skies, 71 for a high, and then sunny and 80 on Monday. And then the winds look like they'll be picking back up around Tuesday of next week. All right, 8:18, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Then we're going to play our interview we had with the ladies from the Chaves County Federated Republican Women. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. We'll be back.
What made Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico for 2023? Great selection, great savings, and great people. Roswell Hyundai has an amazing selection of makes, models, and model years to choose from. If you can't find it, Roswell Hyundai can get it. And Roswell Hyundai will take any trade. The experts at Roswell Hyundai will work with you to get you behind the wheel of your next dream ride. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do! Come check out the Used Car Supercenter only at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Coming this April 4th and 5th, the My Ashley Foundation, in cooperation with the Downtown Lions Club in Artesia, New Mexico, present their first annual golf tournament and banquet featuring guest speaker Kevin Sorbo.
Now, I am very excited to be heading to Artesia, New Mexico on April 4th, 5th, and 6th for a very special weekend with our dear friends Mark and Lorraine Richards and the incredible My Ashley Foundation. Friday night, we're going to kick off things with a very special dinner and an auction. And then on Saturday, we're going to hit the golf course, which is my favorite thing, for a day of fun, laughter, and maybe even a little competition. I do get a little competitive. And on Sunday, we're going to be gathering up for a time of worship and fellowship at Harvest Fellowship Church. You don't want to miss this. Be sure to bring your tickets. Grab them right now and join us in supporting this incredible outreach that are making a real difference in Artesia. And I hope to see you all very, very soon. God bless.
For golf reservations and sponsorships, call the ACC Pro Shop 575-746-6732. And for individual banquet tickets, call the Artesia Chamber of Commerce 575-746-2744. All proceeds will go to the Artesia Lions Club and the My Ashley Foundation to support the organization's community service and outreach programs.
Hey, Roswell, need a truck? You're in luck. Now is your time to buy a new Ford truck for a lot less during Ford Truck Month at Roswell Ford. For a limited time, get massive discounts on every new Ford and quality pre-owned car, truck, and SUV, plus 0% APR for 72 months and no payments for 90 days. Attention business owners, Roswell Ford has a great selection of commercial vehicles, so we're taking care of business. Big trucks, small trucks, work trucks, we've got them all for a lot less. Making payments on your current vehicle and want out early? Roswell Ford wants to terminate your loan or lease, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. And our aggressive finance team will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Plus, Roswell Ford offers mobile services, so our certified technicians will come to you, regardless of where you're at, for oil changes, tire rotation, batteries, recalls, and more. Contact us for details. Massive savings and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR is 13.89 per thousand finance. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balance refinanced in loan. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
Chick Days are back at Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, Friday and Saturday, March 21st and 22nd. Buy a 25-pound bag of Purina Start and Grow and get 3 free chicks. Or double up and get 6 free chicks with a 50-pound bag. Plus, bring the kiddos because Runyon Ranch Petting Zoo will be there and tasty treats from the So Delicious Beverage Buggy. Open 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. on Friday and 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday at 1105 East 2nd in Roswell. Come take a peep at Chick Days, March 21st and 22nd at Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply.
A bedroom is a quiet escape where I go for peace and comfort. This is Melanie at Glenn's Furniture. I know how important the most private room in your home is for your life and the lives of your family. That's why we offer a selection of bedroom groups that make living easier and more comfortable. Modern designs, bold curves, and stylish fabrics elevate your bedroom space. You'll find your new set easy to sleep on and even easier to own. Come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Hey you, Seth Pena at Richland Auto. It's March Madness at Richland Dodge, and we're not talking about basketball, but amazing deals on vehicles. It's game on for a used car sale at Richland on Southeast Main. Score big on a wide selection of high-quality used cars at unbeatable prices. With over 100 vehicles to choose from, all with mad savings and special financing options. So take advantage of our madness. At the Richland Dodge used car sale, get a slam dunk deal on your dream car. It's only at Richland Dodge, March 13th through the 15th at 1309 Southeast Main Street.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Bamboo plants can grow up to 36 inches in a day. So if you're told you're growing like a weed, you can say, no, I'm growing like a bamboo. Here's Mike Winters.
And welcome back to the morning show. And joining us in studio this morning from the Chavez County Federated Republican Women, of course, our I say new president, but we're like 3 months in. New is still Is news still allowed here? But Charlotte Gouroulet, the president here, also Connie Hester as well. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How's life? Y'all keeping the wind, keeping rocks in your pocket, and all that good stuff.
It's been crazy, and that wind has been really, really.
It has,
crazy.
but it is March. It's kind of we should be used to it by now.
Yeah, if you live in New Mexico, you're used to it every year, every spring. So
it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So. Now, for folks listening, maybe if you're not familiar with the Chaves County Federated Republic, maybe new to the area or anything, but the title kind of does give a good clue on what it is. It is the women's organization that works with the Republican Party for Chaves County and the state of New Mexico, obviously, for in part, and so it's kind of a twofold. It's a service organization. When there's not elections and stuff, there's always that going on, and but when you're not in the hot election season, a lot of it's service organizations working with youth, working with community, various other organizations, things like that. And obviously, as we get into election cycles, Republican candidates supporting them, getting them, helping them get a platform, helping them get volunteers, obviously, you guys, when it's primary season, you guys have to play Switzerland. But once after that happens, then you can get rally behind the troops and do what you got to do.
Right. It's just basically keeping the community informed.
Yeah.
And educational purposes. Yeah. We work with the community, as you said.
Yeah. And you kind of do it by having your monthly meetings each month, which is why we always have you come in the Tuesday before the week before your meetings, because you guys meet that third Wednesday? Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm sorry,
third Wednesday.
Third Wednesday of the month. Used to meet at the convention center, obviously with the flooding. And so you guys have been lately going to.
We are at the Roswell Elks Lodge.
The Elks Lodge,
1720 North Montana.
Yeah, and they've been your host for the last several months.
Oh yeah, great place, great venue. Unfortunately, with the convention center having been flooded, we had to change venues, but it's been working.
It's been great, and the Elks are a great host and good cooks and everything else.
Great food.
So you're not missing a beat, other than instead of going to the downtown here, you're going to go to the Elks Lodge there.
Right.
Get it. But it'll same bat time and channel. About 11:30ish, everything get going.
Absolutely. It's going to be next Wednesday, which is the 19th. The doors open at 11:30. We start, serving about 11:40, and our meeting officially starts at noon.
Yeah. For the sake of the chefs and everybody, we ask you to do RSVP, especially if you want lunch. Now, if you choose not to eat, come on down. And come on down either way. But if you'd like to eat, it'd be sure nice if you give us a heads up. That way we can.
Yes. We are on Facebook. There is an RSVP. We do send out emails as well. So we would appreciate if you're going to have lunch, to RSVP, and that helps us prepare and make sure that we have plenty of food available.
Trust me, even if you're like no, you're going to want, because what's going to happen is you're like no, I'm good. I'll just eat a little salad later or something. You're going to get there and everyone's around there chowing down, and it's going to smell good, and you're going to sit there with your hat in your hand, like, should have got food.
Yeah.
So save you that trouble and go ahead and get you a plate. And
that's true. Give us a call and or send an email, RSVP, and we can have lunch ready for you.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be having a hamburger buffet with all the fixings, and we have dessert and tea and water. So everything is included for $17.
Nice.
Which is a great deal.
I was about to say, nowadays $17 will get you like maybe a McDonald's meal.
Right? Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So you get to sit down with or socialize with the community and listen to informative speakers. Next week we're going to have Diana Luce.
Oh, our DA.
Yes. She's going to come in and talk about
the
the
5th
changes.
Judicial District DA. Should clarify.
That's let's give the correct title here.
Yes.
And she's going to be speaking on the changes with the southern border, and then also we have Greg Nybert, recently appointed to the
former state rep, now serving in a different role here.
Right.
So
Public Relations Commission.
Absolutely.
And he's going to be coming in and just kind of talking about his vision for the future. And
absolutely, folks. While you go next week, both great speakers. This is something I want you to ask Diana Luce about and support. They have a program, and we have the folks on every month. It's called the DA Dog Program, and it's kind of created through her office. This is something that she's created and has championed, and it's a great program. They have these dogs that really go in, and it's allowing her prosecutors to get way more information, to get cases convicted. It's great. It's a valuable tool for prosecutors to help with victims, with witnesses, with getting information, so they're getting more. Now, and then here's the run. This is all privately funded. This is all done. Really? And so talk with Diane about how you can support it, but also talk to your legislators about, this is something the state should be funding. This is something every district attorney's office in the United States of America should have one of these programs, as far as I'm concerned.
I'll definitely.
Ask her a little bit about it on Wednesday next week when you guys are out there.
Absolutely.
And talk about it. It's one of her programs, and she's kind of trying to spread it into the other judicial districts. But the thing is, we need funding for this kind of thing, and it's all private now. So
just encouraging, Republicans come out and join us, listen, to these two speakers.
Yeah.
Get involved, join our membership, and we're the largest group or the largest club in New Mexico.
Yeah.
So we're continuing.
One of the most
membership.
active too.
Absolutely.
This is what I want to tell folks to do. I want to give you guys a little bit of competition. No offense.
Okay.
But I would, if you've got friends in Santa Fe and Four Corners, ask them to get involved in their counties or their local Chaves County Federated Republican Women as well too. I want you guys to keep winning, but I want to give you some competition. I want to make sure we got some more Republicans around the state, doing what you guys are doing here.
We've been working with the other clubs around the state and kind of networking, trying to see what they do, what we do, and just kind of bounce ideas off of each other.
But I'm going to take a stab that because between us and the Four Corners, I mean, just face it. Do the numbers. That's where the Republicans are concentrated in this state, is down here and up in the Four Corners. So, imagine those groups in Santa Fe and Las Cruces, more liberal communities, are having a little bit more time getting volunteers and getting people involved.
Yeah, and then
they got to struggle.
We have great committees, and we have Connie Hester, who chairs our Caring for America. Yeah. So I wanted
good segue. Sean, you got digging radio here. So, you already retired once, but if this gig doesn't work out, we can start you on a radio gig.
Yeah, and I wanted her to come in and just talk about what she's doing.
Talk a little bit about your committee, Connie, that you're heading up here.
Well, what we do in the Caring for America program is to usually, so far we have been doing the Assurance Home.
That's a great organization. If you've never seen what they do for youth out there,
they do great things. And and because they don't have a lot of personal stuff, we take 4 times a year, at least 4 times a year. We just did Valentine's Day, and we took cupcakes and ice cream and some cards and different things for them.
Make it feel like home for some of these teenagers and things. Give them a little taste of home.
And then in St. Patrick's Day, we're taking stuff over for them to have the green beads and some. We made some little.
That's cool.
Things,
I would appreciate it, but I don't know if teenagers would appreciate like corned beef and cabbage. But
no,
I would. I'd be like, lunch. But you bring that over to a bunch of kids, they might not be as receptive.
No.
Guess what, kids? Corned beef and cabbage.
Yes, that would be so good.
But if we're going to go with Irish, that's the way to go.
Right. So we're going to take things over on the 14th for them to have for their
own St.
Patty's Day. And then we do 4th of July, Independence Day. And we'll take maybe, who knows what we're going to take. We haven't decided.
Well,
but
you know what?
What?
Come volunteer and you can be part of the decision process. So get more and be involved with the committee. And by the way, it is called the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, but men serve a very active role in the Federated Republican Women as well. So a lot of times it's a spouse, husband-wife team. The wife is a member of the Federated Republican Women, and the husband serves in kind of a
associate.
I keep wanting to say auxiliary role, but same thing.
Associate.
Kind of a same kind of deal there. So
right,
absolutely. Bring your husband.
Yeah.
Yes.
So and if your passion is youth and that kind of thing, this is maybe you want to get on Connie's committee and stay. And you're like, well, I'm not so much political, but I love working with youth. I love working with nonprofit, with that kind of stuff. And Connie's committee's got a lot of places to put you to help.
Oh
you
yeah,
work
absolutely.
Here.
We have so many committees that someone could come in and join. The literacy, we work with the school districts throughout the valley, and we've got the scrapbooking.
Yeah,
I mean,
and then, of course, with your scholarship program with youth, you have your youth kind of junior members that serve, and of course, you'll see them at the lunches. They'll be the ones kind of bussing tables or just kind of doing some of the logistics of the meeting.
Right.
But yeah, they're working the scholarships and kind of learning. The transitioning to adulthood and kind of learning some of the lessons to get them there, and that's all part of that. So,
well, one of the things for us, the Caring for America, is that we do accept monetary donations,
and would love to have some,
and we would love to have some in the form of cash or gift cards,
and anything that you can tangibly give to these kids or use directly for these kids would be very beneficial.
And in this Christmas, we're making them quilts.
Okay.
So that when they are finished with their program, they can take them with them.
And I'm going to take a guess because they're quilts.
Yes.
They'll belong into the, past our age in their 70s and 80s, and they'll still have that.
They'll
quilt
still have
for
it.
their lives,
and remember the Republican women.
Yeah. And hopefully their time at and that's just it. The Assurance Home and what they do there and with these kids, it's for kids that, they've kind of, whatever life's handed them, they kind of, we're getting down the wrong path here a little bit. And this program just brings these kids through so many things because it pushes them out of, like they do like the confidence course type things that make these kids out of their comfort zone a little bit. But when they do that, they come back as, better, the team members, things like that. It all kind of just gets into I don't know, the things that they were missing, they find there, some of those adulting skills through life lessons, through critical thinking skills and the things that, the disconnects they were having in life, even if it's the social stuff.
Right.
Assurance Home kind of fills those gaps, puts them in. So when they complete the program, they are better equipped to whatever their dreams they want to pursue. They've got the tools to do it. So
right.
That's what that program's about.
When Connie came up with this idea, of doing the quilts, we just all thought, wow, what a great idea. They're going to have something that, that's theirs and will provide, hopefully a little security as they, are going through this
What's
program.
a keepsake? It's going to be something that's their very own, something and that's, that, like myself, there's things in my various trunks and, things that for my kid in my own time of, it's very similar, time in life, experiencing things from like scouting days or college days or whatever. This is their mementos and things. And I'm going to take a stab that they'll be going through one of these when they pull that quilt out and there'll be one of their children there asking about it. And there they go.
Right. And they can hand it down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, Connie's a new chair and, coming in as a new chair, I mean, she's bringing all these great ideas. Yeah. And so, we're just trying to change it up. So it's just been wonderful to have her come in and, volunteer and chair this committee. And I mean, she's doing an amazing job.
And it's people with passion. That's kind of, when you do, and the cool part is, this is you get to see a direct, and this is what I think fun. If you love to, work with children and see the impacts of it, talk to Connie here because that's the cool part. You see tangible results. You see the light bulb moments. You see the direct benefit of the thing you just did for them, and you see the and it's good for to have a server's heart, but you take so much back from that when you see that what you did and how it impacted their life. I mean, I'm just saying. That there's no greater high than that one sometimes.
That's true.
Absolutely.
But we also, on the Caring for America, we do Veterans Day for the veterans.
Oh, yeah.
We,
and of course, you always devote one of your meetings every year,
Yes.
the November meeting, to our
November
veterans.
meeting.
Yes, that's a tradition that you guys have been doing for years.
And
now.
you are part of
I've
that.
been part of it for the last half dozen years or so, I
Right.
think. Yeah.
And what we do is we send out Christmas cards to the veterans. We
the
also
troops overseas, like you'll go and
Yes.
gather, usually around the holiday season. Yeah, ask folks to fill out postcards, fill out things, and we go
Right.
send them to, kind of like care package style to our troops.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to do this year. So
Unfortunately, there's always a location where we need to send these. There's
Yes.
never been a year it's like, oh, there's no place to send them. Everybody's home. Not
Right.
Unfortunately.
Right.
That'd be a good problem to have, Connie. I'll be honest. I'd be like, well, everybody's home. We have nobody to send them to.
and also, if an organization, a nonprofit organization, needs our help, be
Reach
sure and reach out to either Charlotte or myself, and hopefully we can pass on
Absolutely.
some more stuff.
I'm going to, obviously, you work with Altruisans and everything, I mean, we can do a laundry list of groups you worked with over the past, but, particularly like youth groups, things like that. Anytime it's involved in youth, I know that's kind of a soft spot for you guys
Yes.
for
It
that.
is.
So particularly
Absolutely.
groups that work with youth or work, if you're looking for more connections, more potential resources to help each other out here a little bit, reach out to the Federated Republican Women. Maybe there's a partnership we can work out.
We'd love to have you. Come join us.
Start coming to come to the meeting. Come to lunch next week. Come have a burger. Come hear our DA and Greg Nybert speak. Ask. And here's another thing too is we get a lot of, unfortunately, because we're still in the legislative session, this one's going to be a little dry. I mean, not dry, but a little lessly populated with our legislators than normally because they're all in Santa Fe right now.
Right.
But this is a great chance to meet other, because like you said, I'm sure you're going to see county commissioners. You're going to see all kinds of who's who of, city leaders, everything in between that are going to be in attendance. And this is a great place to sit down and chew the fat with them a little bit, talk and ask questions and talk in informal setting.
Network with everyone.
Absolutely. It's a great
And, with the session ending this month on the 22nd, so next month we plan on inviting.
That's usually the recap one, and your
our
legislators
legislators come in and recap,
do the good, the bad, the ugly that
Right.
came in and out. And unfortunately, I'm not seeing some bad legislation coming out of Santa Fe this week.
Yeah, we've been sending out. We try and keep our members informed, so we're sending out legislative issues and just calls about.
I was seeing some
calls to action.
scuttlebutt on social media over the weekend that I wasn't too thrilled with.
I know. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but
such is life.
Yeah, it is what it is.
And here's the thing too: is this is another way, like with social media, there's so much information be thrown out there. Use the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, getting involved with it. Use it as one of those filters to separate what's real versus someone trying to, pardon my, pee on your leg here and tell you a story. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, we live in a world where media and is not very trustworthy. Even the things you consider legacy are suspect to trust. So getting involved directly in organizations like this is probably the best way to hear.
Absolutely. Come hear it firsthand and get the facts.
Absolutely. So again, 1 week from today here, tomorrow, next Wednesday.
Wednesday the 19th.
The 19th at the Elks Lodge here.
11:30.
Everything gets underway about 11:30. If you'd like to eat, please RSVP. If you forget that day of, no progress. Quick ways to do it. If you know a Federated Republican Women, you can always call them and say, hey, mark me down. But go to the Chaves County Federated Republican Women Facebook page.
Right.
Just shoot a message or comment or anything, and one of the ladies will be happy to get you locked
Be
in.
happy to give my number, 575-626-6667. Give me a call.
And if you want to learn more about, you said, no, I want to do some of that assurance home and some of that. Connie will be there on Wednesday. Track her down.
I will.
And say, I want to get involved with your side. I want to work with the youth. I want to work with, that's my interests lie.
And I'm bringing 4 people that have never come to a meeting on
so make. And by the way, the food's always good. So come hungry, come for the food, and then actually learn a bunch.
They do a great job there. Yeah, the food is just
their
and like I
food
said,
is
$17 is a cheap lunch now. So
yeah. And
it's a discount lunch.
We're challenging, all of our members to bring someone new, bring a neighbor, bring a friend, have them come in and see what we're all about. And, we'd love to have everyone. So
this is the thing. If you're not happy with the community you live in, there's only one person that can change that. It's you. And the only way you do that is to get involved. And how do you get involved? Start by coming to things like this. Learn what's going on. Mm-hmm. Learn a little bit on how the sausage is made in your community, and get involved. And if you like it, support it. If you don't like it, get involved to fix it, to change it, to make it a better place.
Hey,
and this is how you do it.
Oh, and she's been working on the quilts, that we're going to be doing for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't sew, but I definitely was out there cutting the squares.
Yes,
and
she
we had
did
a great time.
good job.
We had.
It can be assembly line. So even if your skills aren't in the craft world, if you can follow direction a little bit, then we can train you.
Ironing, cutting.
Yeah.
Like if you were that kid that could never stay in the lines, coloring, all right, maybe we won't give you the scissors. But
Right.
It was a great time. I brought cookies, and we just all hung out together, and did what we needed to do, cut some squares.
Well, it's more. It's as much social as it is a work thing.
Yeah.
Every time there's one of these, I know with our American Legion, they do very similar with projects. Like they're one of their passions is the stuffed animals for the sheriff's department and law enforcement to keep in the cars when they come up on situations and things like that. But same skill set, logic.
Right.
The people that can't, they're kind of, you're the cutters and then the sewers and things. You're a stuffer, you're whatever. Yeah.
You want to do a little scrapbook and come in. We'll have you cut and paste and.
It's as much social as it is the work of the of the organization.
Yeah. The quilts, we have been fortunate enough for one of our members who owns Calico Cow.
Angel Mays.
Angel Mays.
A Gold Star mom in our community.
Is has designated the first Thursday of the month to the Caring for America charity quilt.
That does not surprise me because that's Angel. That's she's. You want to talk about server's heart?
Yes.
That lady's and I always brag on her on this story. I know she doesn't, but it's just proof that if y'all remember way back when all this COVID nonsense was going down, day one, those first couple weeks of all this COVID, and everybody had to shut down businesses and do. You know what Angel and the Calico Cow people did? Remember, everyone was trying to find masks and trying to figure out. She's like, guess what? We got materials. I got kits. We're going to have volunteers come in and make kits and get kits out. And day one, she couldn't do her day-to-day job. Most people shut down the doors, go home, watch TV like everybody else. Not her. She's getting staff in there. It's like we got fabric material. We can make masks. We can get kits to teach people to make masks. We're going to get the word. And she was in a world where no one had masks. She was getting people masks.
Oh,
and that
I remember those days.
Yeah.
You couldn't find what. I mean, it was.
And I'm sure
tough to find.
I'm sure she lost a ton of money doing that stuff because that's her business. This is a mom and pop business, and every inch of fabric is important to them.
That's right.
And she gave it all away, helping out just to do her thing. So that's Angel May. So.
And she's also giving us her scraps and stuff that we can make scrap quilts with, or we can make, if it's
She's
big
still
enough. Yes, she always does.
She is one of Roswell's finest.
Yes,
we are
she
blessed
is.
to have
She
a
is.
person like her in our community, and she's been through a lot. Like I said, she's
She
Gold Star
has.
mom, and every time you're a Gold Star, you've lost things, and she's dealt with that and using. And I'm going to take a stab that her server's heart is also her own way to heal her own heart a little bit.
Yes.
Just a hunch.
She's wonderful.
Yep.
She really is.
Absolutely. So again, more of the reason for you to come out next Wednesday. Come meet the folks. Come meet all these cool people we're talking about. Get involved. And really, and this is the same thing I say every time. If you don't like your community, there's only one person that can get involved to change. If you're waiting on a government, if you're waiting on someone else to do it, you're going to be waiting a while. This is how you do it. Get involved. Come out to these meetings. Hear what's had to say. Find things that you believe in and support them. That's the idea too. Is like I said, it's a little quiet now, but when we start seeing candidates and talk primaries and things, there's going to be people that you gravitate towards and people that you find that you really like what they have to say. This is your opportunity to get involved and do more to help them get to that next level. If you believe in what they say, we can help you get in touch to do more about it.
Absolutely. Come join us.
Absolutely. So, did I get it all, or did we get it all? Is there anything we missed? Connie, is there anything you wanted to mention that we spaced on or didn't get a chance to talk about?
Well, Angel is open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the first Thursday of every month.
Excellent. Yeah, we started to do that, and I did a whole thing and got.
Yeah.
That happens to me quite a bit. I get sidetracked. I mean, next thing you know, I'm in Pango when we're back. Supposed to be over here. So,
yeah.
But come out next week, and definitely love to go by the Calico Cow on Thursdays. And again, just her doing the community stuff. So
yeah.
And come meet her if you never met her. Come meet her at the lunch, or come to the Calico Cow and meet her. But if you want, come meet her next Wednesday.
There'll be a few of us there, so come out and meet us.
Yeah, come be a part. And like I said, if you want to get more involved, there's tons of opportunities. And like I said, it's a great family thing. You can get the husband involved, get the kids involved. It's it is a family affair at the Chavez County Federation. So,
absolutely.
Thank you, ladies. We'll see you. We'll see you guys next time, if not sooner. And don't work too hard. And keep more rocks in your purses and pockets, because we got more windy days coming. I think.
Yes, that's very true.
But thank you.
We appreciate you. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Posted for high wind and blowing dust throughout southeast New Mexico, both today and tomorrow. Forecasted wind speeds of 35 to 45 miles per hour, with gusts up to 65 to 75 miles per hour are expected. The highest impact for these strong winds and blowing dust will be from noon to 8 p.m. If you must travel, monitor local forecast conditions before starting your trip. You can always, of course, visit nmroads.com for current roadway info. Roadway conditions, however, may change quickly. Blowing dust can escalate to blinding dust storms as they move quickly throughout remote areas. Also, Xcel Energy says it believes Roswell and Chavez County could potentially be affected by the utilities' plans for a possible public safety power shutoff in response to the high wind speeds and low relative humidity, resulting in high wildfire risk. The National Weather Service has placed Chavez County under a high wind watch through Friday evening. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Let's go to the results from yesterday at the state basketball tournament in Albuquerque, the 5A bracket. Roswell High is the 4th seed, and they took on the 12th-seeded Farmington Scorpions. No upset this time for the Scorpions. Roswell blows out Farmington by a score of 76-42 to move to 24-7 on the season. Farmington finishes at 20-11. So up next for Roswell, a game against number 1 Volcano Vista. That's tonight at 8:15. Volcano Vista blew out La Cueva 82-48. And yesterday's game for Roswell, the Coyotes scored 51 points in the first half. Cy Carrasco led the way with 17 points. This game tonight will be a rematch of a game at the Clovis tournament between the two teams. Volcano Vista won that 91-65. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty windy today and then very windy tomorrow. We have a low pressure system moving just off to our north. We will have some cloud cover today with some sunshine, wind gusting to about 35 and our afternoon high in the upper 70s. Very windy for the overnight hours. A slim chance of shower, our low dropping to 40. Pretty gusty on Friday. Wind at 45 to 60 miles an hour and partly sunny. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
I'm James Flippin. U.S. stocks finished mixed yesterday, a big-time rebound for the tech-heavy NASDAQ composite. Inflation data came in a bit cooler than expected, and several major stocks enjoyed strong sessions, including NVIDIA, AMD, Meta Platforms, and Tesla. The broader tech sector does remain down for the week as a whole, amid concern for the broader market tied to trade and President Trump's enacting tariffs on trading partners. We mentioned inflation. The February CPI came in at 2.8% annually. And also in economic data, the U.S. debt and deficit continues to increase. The budget shortfall for February passed the $1 trillion mark, despite the fiscal year not having yet reached its halfway point. In company-specific news, Google parent Alphabet announced the company's initiative known as DeepMind will make use of AI models that can and will be used to power physical humanoid robots. Running with the Gemini 2.0 platform, Google calls it its most capable AI to date. Apptronic, a Texas-based developer, is making the robots, and video shows the robots plugging things into power strips, filling up a lunchbox, and moving plastic vegetables. With business, I'm James Flippin.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
Did you know my mom's gonna have a baby? We heard the heartbeat and my dad said this is gonna be someone very special.
Hello, my name is Marianne Koharski. I'm the director of Pro-Life Across America. We hope you'll consider supporting the work of Pro-Life Across America. Your gift will help offer life-saving alternatives to those in need. Visit our website at prolifeacrossamerica.org or like us on Facebook.
Pro-Life Across America, the Billboard people.
Double Up Days are back at Roswell Honda, and that means double your down payment. $500 becomes $1,000. $1,000 becomes $2,000. Up to $2,000 means $4,000 towards your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Get 2.9% APR for 36 months on all new Ridgeline and Pilot, and 2.49% for 36 months on all new CR-V hybrids. Now's the time to make your dollars go even further. Double up and save during Double Up Days on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Throughout the Bible, the phrase, "the Lord raised up," is used. These were times when people needed support or relief, but sometimes it was when discipline was needed. God raised up Pharaoh, whose heart was hardened, to show God's power to his people in captivity. He raised up judges to care for his people. He raised up enemies to discipline his people when they turned to idolatry. He raised up prophets to teach and warn people against sin and teach them his ways. When Solomon turned from God's direction, God raised up an enemy against him. Ironically, the Apostle Peter preaches a sermon in Solomon's colonnade in Jerusalem hundreds of years later. He mentions the giants of the Jewish faith that God raised up to lead them and to remind them that he raised up the Messiah to save them. Peter says this, "When God raised up his servant, he sent him first to you to bless you by turning each of you from your wicked ways." I pray that we heed those whom God raises up to teach us, discipline us, support us, and certainly lead us to him.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Check out some of the Lucky 7 bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market. 5-pound bags of bleached Food Club all-purpose flour are $1.77 each, and cans of Star-Kissed Chunk Light Tuna in water are 87 cents each. In produce, black or red seedless grapes are $1.97 a pound, and heads of green cabbage are 27 cents a pound. In the meat department, family packs of bone-in sirloin cut pork chops are $1.47 a pound, and family packs of fryer thighs or drumsticks are 97 cents a pound. These are just some of the Lucky 7 bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
Get ready to boogie at the Spencer Theater for the Performing Arts. On Saturday, March 15th at 7 p.m., experience When Disco Was King, featuring the Kings of Disco, all former members of the world-famous Village People. Dance the night away to hits from legends like the Bee Gees, Donna Summer, and Earth, Wind & Fire. Get your tickets today by visiting spencertheater.com or by calling the box office at 575-336-4800. We'll see you at the Spencer.
Have you spent a lot of time trying to whiten your teeth with no real success? Here at Carabelli Dental, we have a solution. Get that perfect smile you've always wanted with veneers. Veneer treatment is quick and minimally invasive and will provide you with a confident smile in just a couple easy steps. You deserve to love your smile, so don't let another day pass you by without calling us to start the smile design process.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455. Join Hot New Country 92.9 The Brand and La Pantera 106.1 FM for a special live broadcast this Saturday from 10 till 2 at Richland Dodge at the Y in Roswell. The madness in March is on, and for 4 big days, all Richland inventory will be at Richland Dodge. Richland has gone mad with discounts and sweet savings, so you'll score big, and we're not talking basketball. We'll be there with hot dogs and ice-cold Pepsi products and all sorts of fun. See you Saturday, 10 to 2 at Richland Dodge at the Y in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. More than 50% of Americans fall asleep on their sides. That's way better than falling asleep on someone else's side. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:58. Stay tuned next hour. Here about 9:15 or so, we're going to replay our interview Sean had yesterday with Superintendent of the Roswell Independent School District, Brian Luck, talking a little bit about the school board meeting they had earlier this week, also discussing weather. They kind of talk about the tomorrow going virtual. It's now official since all then. They were kind of talking a little bit about it, but they do address a little of that stuff. But, yeah, they are going virtual tomorrow for the Roswell Independent School District. So if you do have kids in school, make sure those arrangements are made. I know with high school, middle school, they kind of have a plan right in place, but it's a little bit more logistics with the elementary school kids. So contact your schools, teachers, make sure you get all that taken care of. But that's tomorrow with the RISD. Don't forget, tonight we will have Roswell Coyote basketball. You heard a sports report there just a minute ago. Coyotes, they are in the semifinals as a 4 seed, taking on the 1 seed Volcano Vista. That game will take place tonight. Tip-off is scheduled at 8:15. However, it is the tournament there at the pit. There will be games before, so there could be a chance that game starts a little late, just depending on rarely do they start early. Rarely. But it's happened once or twice, but rarely. More than likely it'll be a little late tonight. But right around 8:15 tonight, Art and Kelly will be calling that game for you from the pit. We will have here on the radio and audio only at ksvptv.com and the Roswell Coyote channel. Bulldogs are in action in semifinal matchup in 4A as well at 6:30 tonight. You can catch that game on our sister station, 990 AM KSVP, and audio only, ksvptv.com and the Bulldog channel. It is 9 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Just hours before his confirmation hearing was set to begin, the White House has withdrawn the nomination of former Florida Congressman David Weldon to lead the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The action reportedly prompted by concern that Weldon lacked the necessary votes to win confirmation. As Trump economic policies start taking hold, inflation shows signs of tapering off.
The Labor Department reports its producer price index was unchanged from January after rising 0.6% the month before. Compared to a year earlier, producer prices, which track inflation before it reaches consumers, were up 3.2%, but that figure is actually down 0.5% year over year. Separately, the number of Americans filing for unemployment benefits fell by 2,000 to 220,000 for the week ending March 8th, 6,000 fewer than analysts forecasted. George Williams reporting.
Facing a midnight Friday deadline, Senate Republicans hoping today's a day they may pass a bill to avoid a government shutdown, but they'll need some Democrat votes to get it done.
Senator Marsha Blackburn says Democrat leader Charles Schumer is fighting against the continuing resolution because he would prefer a government shutdown.
He feels like it would hurt President Trump and it would hurt the Republicans.
But Blackburn says gone are the days when a shutdown was automatically blamed on the Republicans.
The American people agree with the steps that we're taking.
Blackburn tells the Salem Radio Network she expects enough Democrat support to pass the CR and keep the government up and running. Bob Agnew reporting.
EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin mapping a new course for the environmental regulator, cutting red tape and excessive regulations. He says it will roll back trillions in regulatory costs and hidden taxes on U.S. families. On Wall Street, the Dow down 167 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
In Australia, a man is out and about 100 days after getting a new heart, an artificial heart transplant recipient.
It's the holy grail of modern medicine, really, a long-term artificial replacement for a failing human heart. Now, the heart itself, this titanium heart, it looks like a shiny silver pump. You can hold it in your hand. It's about twice as heavy as a human heart. The heart has to be charged by wires protruding from the chest, but its developer says eventually that can be wireless. It has one single moving part, so it doesn't have any parts that can kind of rub against each other and cause wear and tear.
The BBC's Celia Hatton. The Polish president is again urging the U.S. to deploy nuclear weapons to Poland as a deterrent to Russia. It's the latest indication that Poland is increasingly considering nuclear protection as fears of Russia grow. Townhall.com. The death of a Hollywood legend prompts a campaign to raise awareness of and spread information about Alzheimer's disease.
New Mexico has paired up with the Alzheimer's Association in a pilot U.S. initiative aimed at raising awareness about a disease that affects several million people in the country. The relationship with a nonprofit group has been a year in the making. It was unveiled Wednesday, days after authorities confirmed that actor Gene Hackman died at his Santa Fe home of heart disease with complications from Alzheimer's. Experts believe that because of Alzheimer's, he was unable to seek help after his wife died from a rare rodent-borne disease. The Alzheimer's Association is hoping the campaign will expand to other states. I'm Lisa Adams-Wagner.
The Department of Agriculture plans to spend $100 million to study bird flu and to consider vaccines and other strategies for fighting the disease. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock, or 9 o'clock. Sorry, I'm an hour behind. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tracy and yours.
Thank you, Jocelyn, of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Sean's out. He's with the boy, doing something with the boy this morning, so he'll be back in a little bit. But happy Thursday to everyone out there. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day. Getting ready. We got wind events coming. Of course, tomorrow is going to be a virtual learning day for the Roswell Independent School District. Also note that they will be sending the Friday lunches home with the kids today. So they should be having lunches in their backpacks for tomorrow. The school district will be sending those lunches home with the kids today. But yeah, tomorrow they're going to go with virtual learning protocols there. So get with your schools and all that to make sure that you have all the bases covered there for tomorrow. We do have basketball action as the Coyotes are in Albuquerque at the pit for state playoff action. They won in quarterfinal action yesterday, defeating the Farmington Scorpions, so they advanced to the semifinals. That game will be tonight. Scheduled for 8:15 tip-off at the pit. We will have that game for you right here on the radio on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. It is the tournament. It's the last game of the day. It may not start on time because that just sometimes happens at the pit, but during the tournament. But around 8:15 for tip-off. If you tune in and it's still talking, Clyde Lewis is still talking, we're going to bring you the game. They just haven't started tip-off yet. You can also catch the game on our where you normally go to watch video, ksvptv.com. Click on the Coyote channel. We will have audio only of the game. We do not have video permissions to state playoffs in Albuquerque. We can only bring you the audio portion. So it'll be audio only on ksvptv.com on the Coyote channel, and then right here on the radio. Bulldogs are also in action in Artesia in 4A basketball. They are also in the semifinals. They take on, let me go get the bracket. I think is it Valley? Let me scroll down to Artesia. They take on Espanola Valley here. Artesia's a 2 seed. They're going to take on the 3 seed Espanola Valley at 6:30 tonight. We'll have that semifinal matchup for you on our sister station, 990 AM KSVP. Also, you can catch audio only of that broadcast on our video channel, ksvptv.com, in the Artesia Bulldog channel there. If the Bulldogs win tonight, they will play in the finals in 4A at 4 o'clock tomorrow, and they will play, if they win tonight, of course, they will play either Highland, the 8 seed, or Albuquerque Academy, the 4 seed. That game will take place at 4 o'clock today. If the Coyotes defeat Volcano Vista tonight, they will be in the championship game. That game will be tomorrow night at 8 p.m. We will also have that for you right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM and audio only at ksvptv.com. But, of course, they do have to win tonight. They do have a tall order. Roswell is the 4 seed. Volcano Vista is the 1 seed. If you were listening to sports earlier, they'd mentioned that these two teams did square off in the regular season at one point, and Vista got the win. I think it was 91-62, something like that. So Coyotes got a big game tonight to get on to that championship game. But if they do, they will either face the number 3 seed Sandia or the number 2 seed Hobbs. That game will be at 4:45 today, so they'll know going into tip-off tonight if they're going to be playing Hobbs or Sandia. But, like I said, Volcano Vista has something to say about it. They got to get through them first, and that game will be tonight. Let's see. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather and all that stuff here in just a few. Then Sean, when he was filling in for me yesterday while I was getting my eyes all bugged up, Brian Luck, superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District, joined him talking about school board meeting from earlier this week. They do touch on it. At the time, they were talking about, because this was in the morning, virtual learning, they do talk about Friday, but I think they kind of mentioned it's probably going to happen and all that. That's all been official since then. They've had their meetings yesterday since that interview, so that is all official for tomorrow's virtual learning. But we'll play the interview. You can hear all about that here in just a bit. Later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, along with your Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Hey, real quick, I do want to mention that this summer, Camp Invention is back in Roswell for, 18 years. I don't know how many years they've been doing it for a long time. But camp this year will be, as is always, the first week in June 2nd through June 6th. Back again this year at All Saints Catholic School. This is for kids entering kindergarten through 6th grade. And it is a week-long day camp of STEAM, really, because they do incorporate art stuff. It's all put together by the Inventors Hall of Fame. And there's camps all over the country. They do every summer. And they do these different modules. They do 4 different modules each camp. And they're different each year. So if your kids went in years past, they're brand new ones each year. But they do this camp all over the country, and Roswell's been hosting one for a long time now, thanks to Peggy and her staff. But this year's camp is going to be happening June 2nd through June 6th. The 4 different modules they're going to be working on, they're always cool because they always do a little bit of like they cover science and all that, but they even get a little bit of like business stuff. Like these kids learn like how to plan schedules, and a lot of ancillary things they learn during this camp, all having fun and having cool toys and doing it. And the kids do it the same 4 modules regardless of age. Like, I know it's kindergarten through 6th. They'll do, like, the younger kindergartners and first graders are going to be doing a simpler version of more, it's age appropriate what they're learning. And the 5th and 6th graders, they'll be getting a little bit more advanced in these modules with these things. But the 4 different modules is the kids are going to make their own claw arcade, kind of like you see at like Denny's and Pizza Hut and arcades, things like that. A penguin launch where campers will team up for an eco expedition as they investigate Antarctica with robotic assistance, and then design launchers to propel penguins. So they get to learn physics there. In control, campers take the driver's seat for the ultimate road trip as they design a custom and control panel and navigate their journeys with help from GPS. So they get to learn a little of like road trip planning and some of that stuff by using the GPS and the various technologies and showing them that. And then the illusion workshops, the 4th module for this year's camp, and they're going to explore the science behind special effects. Campers will uncover optical illusions in movies, art, and animation before building their own moving props. So pretty cool here. Now, to sign up for the camp, go to invent.org/camp and type in Roswell to find a camp near you. And then you can fill out your application there. If you sign up for camp before the 20th, March 20th here, you got about a week here to get that done. Enter in the offer code FUN25. You can save $25 off the cost of camp too. Now, if you would like a scholarship for the camp and need a little financial assistance, because the camp does cost $290 before the discounts and everything. And they also offer an extended camp too, because the camp runs from 9 to 3:30, but they do offer where you can bring the child in a little earlier and stay up till like 5:30. But anyway, invent.org. But if you need a scholarship more than that $25, please call Peggy Boland direct. You can do so by reaching her 575-420-9955, and then she can work with you on getting partial scholarships, because we have people that donate money to help these things. So, but reach out to her to do that, 575-420-9955. All right, 9:15, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty windy today and then very windy tomorrow. We have a low pressure system moving just off to our north. We will have some cloud cover today with some sunshine, wind gusting to about 35 and our afternoon high in the upper 70s. Very windy for the overnight hours. A slim chance of shower, our low dropping to 40. Pretty gusty on Friday, wind at 45 to 60 miles an hour and partly sunny. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thanks, Steve. Currently 50 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 43%. Winds currently out of the south at 5 miles per hour. We do have a red flag warning. It's going to take effect here in about 45 minutes, 10 a.m. this morning. That will remain in effect through 8 p.m. Today will be windy. Tomorrow will be worse. Tonight will be worse. But today will be windy as well. Patchy blowing dust this afternoon. They're talking after 2 o'clock today. Cloudy this morning, gradually becoming clear as the day progresses. Expect a high of 77, so it's going to be warm, but the winds will be out of the south 5 to 15 miles per hour early. As the day progresses, winds will increase 15 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Tonight, usually the winds die down. Not this time. They're going to be picking up. Patchy blowing dust after midnight, mostly clear with an overnight low of 41. Winds will be out of the southeast 20 to 25 early, increasing 30 to 35. Could see wind gusts tonight as high as 50 miles per hour. Friday, they've already issued fire weather watches and high wind watches warnings for tomorrow. I imagine red flag and all that will be added for tomorrow as well. They're talking widespread dust tomorrow, mainly between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Sunny in between all the dust. 61 for a high tomorrow, but the winds will be out of the west, 30 to 35 miles per hour, increasing 40 to 45 miles per hour. Could see wind gusts as high as around 65 miles per hour tomorrow. So we're talking low hurricane force gusts tomorrow for the day here. Hence the virtual learning day that's going to be happening for the RISD. Friday night, the patchy blowing dust will continue till about 7 p.m., mostly cloudy. Overnight low of 36. Winds will be out of the west, 25 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. After later in the evening, those winds will drop down 15 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday, there is a 20% chance of showers for the afternoon, otherwise sunny and 60. Winds will remain breezy out of the north, 20, gusting to 30 miles per hour. Saturday night, clear, overnight low of 35. Sunny and 71 on Saturday. They're not talking about winds. And then we're on Monday, they're talking back up near 80, and then Tuesday, 80 with winds. So, but got to get through today and really tonight and tomorrow for that stuff. All right, 9:18, we're going to take a 3.5-minute break. Then we're going to play our interview Sean had yesterday with Brian Luck, superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District. That's up next. Don't go away.
Injury, surgery, or illness can set you back, but you don't have to recover alone. At Artesia General Hospital, our rehabilitation services team provides physical, occupational, and speech therapy to help you regain strength, mobility, and confidence. Take the next step toward recovery. Call 575-736-8174 today to schedule an appointment and get back to living life to the fullest.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
Hi, everyone. This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. When was the last time you looked forward to sleep? Let's be honest here. You know a restful night's sleep has more health benefits than you consciously think about during the day. Here at Glenn's, we carry Serta mattresses, and they've been in the business for more than 90 years. Choosing one can be hard, but I want you to know we have your back. Come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda in Roswell, where delivery is free since 1953.
Are you ready to succeed? Earn your FFA certification through ENMU Roswell's Aviation Maintenance Technology Program. ENMU Roswell has the only FFA Part 147 airframe and power plant school in Southeast New Mexico. Receive commercial and general aviation training, hands-on training with Operation Aircraft, Boeing commercial experience, advanced composite repair training, and more. And ENMU Roswell offers in-state tuition for veterans too. Learn more about this exciting program on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Success starts here.
Join Hot New Country 92.9 The Brand and La Pantera 106.1 FM for a special live broadcast this Saturday from 10 till 2 at Richland Dodge at the Y in Roswell. The madness in March is on, and for 4 big days, all Richland inventory will be at Richland Dodge. Richland has gone mad with discounts and sweet savings, so you'll score big, and we're not talking basketball. We'll be there with hot dogs and ice cold Pepsi products and all sorts of fun. See you Saturday, 10 to 2 at Richland Dodge at the Y in Roswell.
Get ready, Artesia. The main event car show and cruise is rolling into town Friday, March 28th and Saturday, March 29th, 2025. Friday night, we're kicking things off at 6 p.m. with the Main Street Cruise. Watch as classic cars, hot rods, and muscle cars take over Main Street, cruising by the decade. It's a moving history lesson with a whole lot more horsepower. Then Saturday from 9 to 3, downtown Artesia transforms into the ultimate car lover's paradise. Cars, trucks, motorcycles, bikes, even tractors. It's free family fun with music, friendly competition, and more. Want in on the action? Register your ride at artesiachamber.com or stop by 107 North 1st Street in Artesia. The main event car show and cruise, March 28th and 29th in downtown Artesia. Brought to you by the Artesia Car Enthusiasts, Artesia Chamber, and Artesia Main Street. Paid for by Artesia Luggage Tax.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The ball on top of a flagpole is called a truck. Mess with your friends today by pointing at a flagpole and say, "Hey, check out the truck on top of that flagpole." Here's Mike Winters.
Yes, and good morning, 18 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Wednesday morning. Joining us in studio, Superintendent Mr. Brian Luck from the Roswell Independent School District. How are you doing this morning, sir?
If I was any better, I'd be one of you guys. Let's settle down on that. Reports are still out on that one. It is definitely an interesting time. Like we've joked before, you get all 4 seasons in the springtime in Roswell, and we've experienced all of those in just the last week or so. And we got snow on the way, supposedly.
Well, sure,
of course.
Why not?
Just throw that into the
mix.
Is
spring break's coming up, so sure, why not?
Any of those folks out there who decided to get a jump on their spring gardens? Yeah, sorry, but should have held out on that one. But meantime, life goes on, and the school board met once again last evening, correct?
We did.
Absolutely. So how are things? What is the state of the Roswell Independent School District?
Oh, man, that's a loaded question right there. I thought we were going to talk about school board meeting. No, we had a regular meeting last night. Conducted a pretty good meeting. Went about almost 2 hours, but about right for the business that we had. We're mid-year-ish. As far as our second semester goes, we've got a lot of things getting ready. We're winding up. We do have spring break coming up next week.
Next week. It's a surprise to a lot of parents. I'm like, it's spring break next week. They're really already? Yeah, it's...
Well, I tell you what. I mean, we were talking about that the other day. Somebody said something about April, and I said, oh, you mean 2 weeks? And they're like, well, what? And I said, well, you take spring break out of it. We come back and we have a week. And, I said, we're pretty close to April, guys. And then, that run... and literally a sprint or a drag or however you want to look at it to get to the end of the year. And we're going to wrap this one up pretty quick.
I mean, it's crazy because it happens every year, and I'm surprised by it every single year. But January takes 47 years to get through. And then it's February, March, April, May, June, July. It just boogies for the rest of the year. But January is the longest.
Whenever I was teaching, I coached basketball. Right. And so, you would get to your football season over with, give or take. And then, like the start of basketball and the end of basketball, really that was the chunk of the year that was the middle of the year. Mm-hmm. And then after that, there wasn't a whole lot left. I mean, you're talking maybe the end of March.
Yeah.
And like you said, April, May, and there's so much that goes on in May. The weather kicks over. We had the time change, survived all that. But it really has. It's been a good year so far. We're looking forward to wrapping this one up with hopefully some good weeks coming up our way. But no, looking forward to this break. Like we were talking off mic about the weather. That was one of our key discussions last night was, we had an event last week where we had a couple of days where may or may not have been too smart to be out on the highways or buses getting out. And we discussed that with the board with my senior team there last night as well. And had a good conversation, some good feedback. We had some good phone calls, had some bad phone calls from some parents. Kind of a regular day in my office, but, just kind of presented to everybody that, as far as our primary goal always will be to stay in school and to do that as much as possible. But, we are, I did get accused of putting test scores over kids' safety, and that, I'll be honest, that one made me mad. That one got me. Normally I'm pretty things can flow off of me, but that one got me. And I was just like, my job is to worry about your kids' education, but I'm not going to do that at the risk of their safety. So kind of went over the process last night as to what we look at, how we go about things. We did do an early release last week for one day, and it was quick. It was a fast turnaround because storm kind of comes in really fast, and we had a little bit of a break in it. And did what we could to try to get everybody gone. I think the biggest thing that I'd like to get across to parents too is when and if we do something like that, we're not just going to lock the door and kick your kid out.
Right.
If it takes you a while to get there, or you don't get there until much later, that's okay. Mm-hmm. But as far as those that can, we're looking to try to get people back home.
Sure.
Off the highway. Our buses get really interesting. So the two bus companies that we work with, Hamill Transportation and Pollard, they've got two phenomenal individuals running those companies. And I brought this up last night with the board. I was like, I have been told no by the bus company before, and
and it's their discretion ultimately. They are the ones who are going to put their drivers out there, so they're going to make the call.
Well, and you don't necessarily think about it, but like our 3Y program over at Parkview, those kids are door to door. So those buses will come to those houses. They'll stop in front of the house. they'll turn their flashers on, and they'll sit there. And the aide will get off the bus. They'll walk up to the fence or to the door or to the sidewalk, and they'll get the kid, take them by the hand, and get them on the bus. That's an extended period of time for those kids to be in harm's way. And what, kind of what was our goal the other day was we'd still like the bus flashers on the bus to be visible. And that was the comment that the bus company made. They said we couldn't see them.
It was last week. It was so bad. Mike made the comment last week that this was the afternoon. We were sitting here. I was in my office. He in here, and he looked out the window, and we literally couldn't see the SunWest building. Like from 3 blocks away, we couldn't see. It was completely browned out. So, I mean, to think about putting drivers and kids in those conditions, obviously we have to make decisions like early release. We have to make sure that the kids' safety is the utmost priority.
Right.
Honestly. And it's hard to predict those things in advance.
Well, no, I made the comment last night. You were saying this a minute ago, kind of jokingly, but I mean, we've all kind of turned into amateur weather prognosticators.
Yeah, we really have.
And everyone says, well, the app that I'm using, and so I laugh whenever somebody will say, well, my app says this, and I always want to know which one. And not because I don't believe them, but I'm like, hey, man, I'm up for anything.
Sure.
I got tickled yesterday. I had an individual call, and they're like, well, they're calling for 200-mile-an-hour winds and all these crazy things. And I said, okay. And so I walked through it with him. I said, look, I have 5 different weather apps on my phone. I said, and there's one on my computer that I use that I really, really like. I think it's in Microsoft Edge. And I said, I can look right now, and according to this prediction right here, it'll give me the wind speeds from now until like next Thursday, Friday, something like that.
Right.
I said, I'm not saying what you're telling me is not true. I'm just simply telling you that the one that I use that has been fairly consistent is not showing me that. We're looking, and everybody says, well, at this mile an hour, you need to do this. Okay. It might have been Wednesday, Thursday last week where it was supposed to start blowing really early. Well, it didn't do it.
And it didn't. Yeah.
It didn't. And I was like, okay, that one would have hurt me as far as like if we had gone virtual or we had made a plan for that.
That's just like the school district to jump ahead of the gun.
Exactly.
You're never going to satisfy everybody.
And you know what? I struggle with that just because that's my personality.
Sure.
But we're working on it. So did get some good insight from the board last night as far as like, hey, let's kind of get a little preemptive with, our notices to the parents. Like, hey, they're calling for winds from 20 to 30 gust at this particular time. There is a chance. You're always free to not send your kid, but we're gonna try to go as often as possible.
Absolutely, and you want to make you want to provide the school day for the kid, but ultimately, parents, it is your discretion if you want to. Just because school is in session, you don't have to send them to school if you don't think it's in their best interest on that day.
Yeah. Well, and I had one last night that I had not thought of, and ironically, the parent hadn't called, but it was. Okay, they were perfect attendance other until I did that. Like their parents said, "You're not going to go to school on this day," and I said, yeah. And if you feel strong enough that it's not safe, in your opinion, that's a good enough reason to not have perfect attendance in my book. But ultimately, we're going to use the Chaves County Sheriff as far as the roads out in the south part of the county, the school resource officers that we have, and then another suggestion that I thought was a pretty good one was actually. It may sound kind of dumb, but almost more like some weather spotters, like some members of my crew that get out and say, okay, I am sitting at this intersection right here.
Sky-warn weather.
And here's your visibility. That being said, it still isn't, it's never an easy thing to send kids home early. And we're also going to meet with the principals this morning about, okay, in the event that we do have to do like a virtual day, we're going to need to do a better job as far as making sure that the product that we're providing is as close to equal to being in person, which is tough. I mean, that we did almost a full year of that. And
it's one of those systems that you feel like we spent so much time in it with the, with the pandemic that we almost perfected the virtual learning system. But then sort of once we took Chromebooks back and the system sort of went back to normal, it's kind of a relearn process,
Yeah. Well, and I think we still have several of the components. I know, especially at the secondary schools.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as worried about the high schools and the mid schools as much as I am like my second and third graders, where there's no substitute for that teacher. And obviously we would love for those to be few and far between when we have them. But I mean, even sitting in the lobby a second ago, and granted, next week is spring break. So, but on the WeatherBug app, I found 4 days next week that have forecasted between 20 and 25. And I'm looking, going, okay, well, if you knock out 3 days a week, guys, it doesn't take very long before you've missed 2 weeks of school, and that's tough.
Yeah, especially when and we've gone over it. There's the system, the way it's set up is it's this many number of days that are required,
right?
And that has to be met. So to have a situation like that, it really does. Yeah, it puts a kink in things for sure.
Well, and I think you made a comment a while ago. I was driving in. You're talking about the potential for some moisture coming our way, and even that right now, everybody's a little on edge with that because of our last. And I got to think about that. I don't know that it's rained. If it's rained twice since the flood, I don't think so.
We've had a couple of sprinkle days, but nothing serious. And yeah, that's understandable that when clouds start to gather, people in this area start to get a little gun shy. But we do need the moisture. Anything we can get.
Oh yes, we do. And I think that would be huge because you had a little bit of moisture that would hold some of that down. You could take some of those winds again, but it is what it is, and we're ready to address it and move forward, and we're going to do the best we can.
Absolutely.
So
it's one of those things, situations where you just have to assess it as it comes and pivot from there.
Yeah. The irony to it, I try to talk a lot with my directors and my coordinators, and in those meetings, I'll bring up stuff that really does not impact their departments. Mm-hmm. And, you can sit on their face like, why are you telling me this?
Right.
And my comment is so that you can take out the truth. you can take the truth out, and it can maybe grow legs and walk around just like great rumors do. Mm-hmm. So like for my businesses that might be listening right now, our standard number, give or take, is about 25 miles an hour straight, 30 miles an hour straight for out-of-town trips. So like our baseball, our golf, our tennis, our track right now, there's people that have made plans. They've gone to their bosses. Their kids are going to go do this or they're going to go do that. Mm-hmm. And then kind of the last minute, bam, we reschedule or we cancel. I can assure you, Mr. Cooper has two great big calendars in his office for March and April. And there's not very many days and there's not very many places that you can do reschedule for like your extracurricular stuff. Right. So, I mean, the last thing we ever want to do is cancel or reschedule because I know the kink that throws in. Mm-hmm. You've got the track schedule and you've made your vacation plans or your doctor visits. Right. And poof, now we have to reschedule something and it does. It's tough. And we realize that. So like I said, every effort that can possibly be made to not do that is being done. But, we're moving forward. Like I said, if it just rain, that usually the wind kind of dies down. If it could just rain,
just a little bit, and honestly, the problem with the flood, and I made this comment to a friend the other day. The problem with the flood is it came through and washed, millions of gallons of water, and then it just all went away. It we didn't have time to absorb it.
Right.
It didn't get sucked in as for like soil purposes and things, and it did more devastation than any good it could have done. So. We need sustained moisture that will tamp some stuff down for a little bit. That's what we need.
Well, and Mother Nature will take care of her job, and I just got the faith right there that everything will take care of itself like it's supposed to. But did shift gears after we had our conversation about the weather last night. Talked a little bit about money and enrollment and planning for the future for us as far as looking at our numbers. We're anywhere from 8,500 to 9,000 to 8,200 kiddos, depending on the time of year, and that's about right for us. That's that for our district. We're give or take about the 8th largest district in the state, and our funding comes from numbers. Right. So when different things happen or different entities open, we face some competition with that, and that's good. We like good competition.
Sure.
But those do have impact on our budget. We're always watching that. We're making sure that our staffing numbers don't exceed what we need them to be. We're trying to be good stewards with the public money and making sure that that's happening. Our budget process is coming up, getting ready to build our budget for next year.
Always a fun time.
Oh yes, absolutely.
You ever played Tetris? Let's see how we can fit all this in.
Pretty much. The interesting. So we're 60-day legislative session that's coming to a close. I think I read last night 11 days left. Yeah. We had an update yesterday from a group that provides us updates on bills, and they're, God bless our lawmakers up there, man. Whether you agree with them or disagree with them, I mean,
They're putting the work in for sure.
They are doing that, and you'll see a report, and they're talking about a Sunday meeting or a session that happened. That's time away, and yes, they did sign up for that job,
Right.
but that still doesn't make it an easy job.
Exactly.
So, a huge thank you to them. A little bit of one of the bills that would come out has a little bit of changing in the funding formula. The standard advice that I've always been given is just wait till it's over and let them tell you exactly, how the sausage is made for you, and versus trying to pick what the things in the bill that you like or that you don't like, and then trying to do all these great grandiose things, and then it doesn't pass or it doesn't make it out of committee. But we're looking forward to that. Our like I said, our counts are about average to where they should be right now. So
I know we got a lot of irons in the fire as far as like expansion, new school construction. There's a lot of things
Right.
that where the money is allocated and it has to go. So
Well, and the cool thing about that, and that's the testament to the people that have come before me, the superintendents and the school boards. When we lock in for those buildings, we're locked in. So like our projects that are coming due, our Mountain View project, which is coming up next after Nancy Lopez, we're squared away on that funding. Those rates are there. They're squared away. It's almost like a mortgage rate.
Right.
And even with our Washington Avenue project, which comes after Mountain View, we've got that funding in a good spot. And I'm really happy with where those things are at, and it's going to provide the ability to do that for us. If you've lived in this area long enough, you know that it's an ebb and a flow, and there will come a time when we'll have our drop.
Yeah.
And my job with that is just to make sure that the district is in solid shape when that comes up, and I feel like we're going to be there. So.
yeah, I mean, like you said, the student rate's going to rise, it's going to drop, and obviously, that's going to be a moving situation. But as long as the funds are allocated where they need to be, then that's really the important thing. But once we get to the budget, that's when you got to hash out the zeros and the ones, all the little intricacies, the nitnoid details, as Mike likes to say. And so that'll be a fun time for you guys.
If you're a number guy, my primary goal with that is to make sure that from year to year that people don't notice a major difference, whether that be, obviously you would love for them to say, boy, you did a much better job.
Right.
But as far as the budget piece to it, no one was really nailed with, boy, I ran out of money, that kind of a thing. So, from year to year, my hope is that the principals really say, boy, I didn't see a big difference.
One of my favorite quotes of all time it's actually from the show Futurama. They say, when you do things right, people won't know that you've done anything at all. And that really resonates. Like, if you do things exactly the right way, things will be just as they are. Not great, not horrible. It'll stay the same.
I wake up most days trying to live my life right now to stay out of the paper. And that's basically kind of along the same lines as if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, people, like you said, might not ever even know who you are, where you're at, or what you're doing.
Right.
And then, it's our job really to kind of tout the really good things. But no, that resonates, and I agree with that 100%, especially when it comes to the money. That we want to make sure that's huge for us with 85 to 90% of our budget being instruction, and that's primarily salaries and benefits and instructional materials that go directly into the kids. That's huge for us and this board, and they want to make sure that we stay with that.
With everything being kind of just as all over the place, up and down, stability is it's kind of out of whack right now. Having that stability and that steady track, that's key. That's huge. I mean, that's a sign that you guys are doing what you're supposed to.
I think so, and I'm going to give every bit of credit to the people that are doing our work in the business office, and then to my board, as far as they've set the tone for that, and I appreciate that as far as making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing with the resources that we've been given, and I way do appreciate that. A couple other things. We did talk a little bit about some community school partnership updates. So we've got 4 different schools in our district that are deemed designated community schools, which means that there's a few other resources that kind of come through them. One of them last night that was discussed was the food bank. So once a month. And the one that just kind of jumps out at me is Sierra, because I always seem to be driving by Sierra when they do that. And it is
I have to go pick my kid up during the food drive.
It is a blessed nightmare. I mean, but to see the organization, the kids, the usefulness and the benefits that our kids get out of that, it's huge.
Yeah.
So hats off, Kristen Sayers and her crew working with community schools and the work that they're doing there. But that's coming up. I don't know the exact date as far as the distributions, but
I want to say it's maybe the week after spring break. I'm not 100% sure on that. I know it just went. We just had one, not last week, but the week before. Just because I had to go pick my daughter up, I saw the line.
The first one I ever saw, I'm driving by, and literally it looked like a ball game in the middle of the day, like a really big ball game. And I mean, I freaked out, and I spun around, did a U-turn, and get over and right in the middle of it, and I messed the line up terribly. But it concerned me because I was just like, oh, what is this?
What's happening? Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, don't you know this? And I was like, no, I don't. But thank you for telling me. And
I do now.
I do, and I'll put that on a calendar, and I will avoid this place at all costs on that date.
Right.
But
if possible, take alternate routes, because traffic really gets tight over there.
Well, and the Miss Savage was talking last night about the kids and how we use the kids to help with that, and we're going to bring them in, I think, at the April meeting, the kids that have helped with those, and kind of give them a little bit of love for the work that they're doing. So great work provided by her team there at the district. Went over just a couple other basic things. Have had a request by some of the board to start with policy 1 and work our way all the way to policy infinity. Kind of one at a time. So last night we just went through the original walking papers for board policy, and some of the key points that go with that. We talked, and I kind of laughed. I said, "Well, where do you want to start? Do you want to start with personnel? Do you want to start with finance?" And board president said, "I want to start with policy number 1." And I was like, "Okay." So we'll start with probably get through maybe 1 through 5 next time, and then every board meeting have a few more to kind of go over, so that the board is doing their diligence and staying constant with up to changes, etc., like that.
And that's really good. I admire the fact that I've been a part of boards, and I've seen people who are like, I'm just here so I don't get fined. They're like, let's just get through this meeting. And then there's those people like, okay, hold on, let's take our time, let's get through things the way it should be from start to finish, and you admire the attention to detail.
Well, and what I liked about it was, as an entity, they were like, they're always wanting to know the different things. Well, tell me about this or tell me about that. And so even last night still, there were several abbreviations that are listed within the policy that I'll be honest, I mean, I knew they were important, but as far as the specifics to what each one of those meant, I had not a clue.
Right.
So we're going through it, and it broke down what each of the abbreviations meant and what an exhibit is, and so, like I said, I commend them for doing that and staying up to date as much as possible.
Absolutely.
But did have a quick legislative update with some of the bills that we're watching. There is Senate Bill 242, which is advancing the science of reading. Roswell is huge with the science of reading. We've had a lot of work, and actually a lot of our educators were called to talk about that the other day. That one kind of impacts Dr. Powell a little bit more than it really does us, as far as putting a lot of onus on the colleges to make sure that they're teaching the science of reading to our new teachers. S. Bill 235, which is a math bill. A couple other ones. There was one, I want to say 465, SB 465. Yes, SB 465 that came out the other day. That one was a big one, because it actually was going to kind of limit the powers that the NMAA had, and would have actually allowed people to attend like private preparatory sports institutions and maintain eligibility at the public high school level as well. That one got tabled. There was a pretty big push back from the Superintendents Association that basically said, we didn't really care for that. And then the other piece to that one was that larger populated areas would receive larger representation. So pretty much Albuquerque could do basically whatever Albuquerque wanted to do. Of course. And I will commend those that spoke up on that. There was across the state. I mean, there was the superintendent from Gadsden, the superintendent from Hobbs. Mr. Cooper sits on a board with the athletic directors. Their representative spoke. So, like I said, that one, I was very happy that one did not advance. I do think there will be a time and a place where some of the key factors that were in that bill probably will. But the way that one was actually crafted, it wasn't very well written.
It's sometimes the NMAA can get pretty heavy-handed, I feel like, especially considering that more often than not, and again, prove me wrong, Big Blue seems to find its way to the South 40 more often than not, so maybe there should be a little more attention put down here,
Well, and it's interesting that you say that. I actually wrote a letter, and it was, transparency. It was one of the first ones that I've ever written that said basically like, hey, I don't support this, and I don't support it on behalf of the school versus just me as an individual. And I sent it to my coaches, and I had a coach that responded and said, yeah, but some of what's in here we kind of like. And I said, okay. And so I went and visited with them, and when you have one entity that is the final decision-making factor, and more often than not, you are probably going to come up on the short end, especially when you're dealing with appeals or different things like that. The part that I liked about it, though, was that it kept, at least if you know their set of guidelines and you know their set of rules and standards, as long as they will stay consistent with those rules and standards, I have no problem, playing by, if everybody's playing by the same set of rules, I have no problem with that. But kind of like what you're saying, when it does yield the impression every now and then that those rules don't necessarily pertain to south of a particular geographical a barrier, that's a tough deal. So if I could real quick, I want to kind of follow up with what you were talking about a while ago. We do have Roswell High School fixing to come up here in about an hour. So I'm sure they're already at the pit.
Exactly an hour.
Getting ready to go. If you've never been up there to one of those ball games, that is such an experience. And I know state cheer and dance has its own vibe and its own feel, and state football, but there's nothing like state basketball.
Yeah.
It
the
just
pit's
has
just a fantastic facility.
That venue, and you put, especially when you get to Saturday, and you're probably going to be looking at, anywhere from 9 to 12,000 people in that thing, cheering for a high school for a 16-year-old kiddo. To go out there and to have fun and to play a game, you just can't compete with that.
So many important eyes going to be on these games too. So these are the time for our players to shine.
Oh yeah, well, and I do want to give a shout out to our athletic department, Mr. Cooper, Mr. Trujillo, and the coaches. I was trying to think of the last time that we had all of our basketball teams qualify for state competition. I'm sure somebody out there says, "Oh, that was such and such," and that's cool. I'm glad they can do that, but I can't.
Right.
And that's a testament to the coach, to the parents, to the players. Basketball's a grind. You hit every holiday. You hit Thanksgiving and Christmas and President's Day and this day and that day, and it is a bit of a grind. But
look, I don't want to disrespect any of our student athletes at all. Football's an amazing sport, and it gets a lot of attention. Those dudes get breaks between downs. I'm just saying, when you're playing basketball, it is go, 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 constant. And that is, it's definitely a grind. So hats off to those kids.
Well, if you played like I did, I set the bench quite a bit. So, there wasn't a whole lot of running around during the game for me, but, it's neat to see, and it's neat to see them get up there. And I tell my coaches that all the time. It's never a bad day when you end your season at the pit.
Absolutely.
Or in Albuquerque.
Absolutely.
Whether if you're playing at a lower level and maybe you're up at Bernalillo, I think, I was looking this morning just quickly at some of the private schools in town, and we still love them, and we had several of them that made it up into state competition as well. Yep. And thank you to the organizations and the businesses that have sponsored those kids. Sure. $50, $200, $300, and we got a sign in the window. That's not unnoticed, at least for me specifically. So thank you to all of the people that have helped get the kids there. Thank you to Gene and to your organization for broadcasting those games.
Oh, stop. We do what we can. we do what they'll let us do. We'll put it that way.
Well, and look, we were talking off mic too. Is I guarantee you the people here would way prefer your crew being up there videoing that game right now. But I know if it's Kelly and Art, they're going to paint a good picture for you.
Yep, 100%. So that game coming up 9:45. We'll have that for you right here on 106.5 and online kspptv.com under the Coyotes tab.
Yeah.
Thanks for the free plug.
Well, hey, always will do it.
Love it. Do we get it all?
I think so. All right.
Well, then there you go. I mean, the state of the independent school district, and I brought this up to somebody the other day. There's been a lot of what's going on with the education system. The fact that Roswell has an independent school district. We're independent. We work outside of the realms of everybody else's rule book, for lack of a better term. It keeps us safe during times like these, I feel like.
Well, the newspaper came up and asked me last night as far as, okay, with the changes in the federal level with the Department of Education, how does that impact you? And I said, well, officially. And I said, I have no idea. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that flippantly either. Right now, I mean, I can speculate.
Sure.
But I also know this. We do receive federal dollars, which has to come from that particular entity. Yeah. Some of our food money, some of our special education money, and then other federal grants. Mm-hmm. And we really try very hard, minus those two, to not have to depend on federal funding out of grants to operate. Off mic.
Do you want me to turn these off real quick?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, no. Well, with her, my
we'll
comment.
Go dead air for a quick
second. Sure. And then you can go, oh, my gosh. No, I do know this. That money will have to flow through someplace. Mm-hmm. So in the absence of the federal government being the key factor, my immediate turn to would probably be the state.
Sure.
Do I know that? I don't. And again, being in the middle of a legislative session, a lot of the people that I'm going to depend on to be watching that are preoccupied with legislative business. Mm-hmm. So we haven't had a whole lot of guidance like, okay, be ready for this, be ready for that. Kind of the walking papers that we've been given is just monitor.
Yeah.
And, always just great advice anytime is always know where your money's coming from and always have a plan.
Right.
And my finance guy and I have talked a little bit about that. We have a plan. But that, again, that's hoping that we're close to the guests.
Sure.
And we'll monitor it too. I think the story on the news a while ago was 50% of the employees being cut. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, well, that's 2,000 people. And then I kind of laughed. I was like, if your full staff was 4,000 people for the entire nation, it's not a lot of people, really and truly.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's
not
big country people. I mean, that's not a lot.
Well, when you look proportionally, like we could have 4,000 people involved in the state highway here in New Mexico. So that's not a lot.
Right. But it's a situation that we will monitor and, juke and jive as we need to. It's like, playing football. You got to, move as the situation presents itself. You guys are doing a great job.
We overcome. We improvise. I think I saw that in the movie once.
Superintendent, thank you so much for your time.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you back here next month.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully it'll be Mike in this chair.
Hopefully
I figured it out. His exact eye exam schedule were on the exact days that you were going to come in. So it worked out the way it did. But
I see the pattern there. Pun intended.
I think he's avoiding you. I don't know. You might just take it up with him. That's a him thing. But thanks so much for your time, Superintendent.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you next time.
Yes, sir.
8 away from 9 o'clock. Let us get you up to date with some local news.
Foundation, in cooperation with the Downtown Lions Club in Artesia, New Mexico, present their first annual golf tournament and banquet featuring guest speaker Kevin Sorbo.
Now, I am very excited to be heading to Artesia, New Mexico on April 4th, 5th, and 6th for a very special weekend with our dear friends Mark and Lorraine Richards and the incredible My Ashley Foundation. Friday night, we're going to kick off things with a very special dinner and an auction. And then on Saturday, we're going to hit the golf course, which is my favorite thing, for a day of fun, laughter, and maybe even a little competition. I do get a little competitive. And on Sunday, we're going to be gathering up for a time of worship and fellowship at Harvest Fellowship Church. You don't want to miss this. Be sure to bring your tickets, grab them right now, and join us in supporting this incredible outreach that are making a real difference in Artesia. And I hope to see you all very, very soon. God bless.
For golf reservations and sponsorships, call the ACC Pro Shop 575-746-6732. And for individual banquet tickets, call the Artesia Chamber of Commerce 575-746-2744. All proceeds will go to the Artesia Lions Club and the My Ashley Foundation to support the organization's community service and outreach programs.
Double Up Days are back at Roswell Honda, and that means double your down payment. $500 becomes $1,000. $1,000 becomes $2,000. Up to $2,000 means $4,000 towards your next new or pre-owned vehicle, like a 2020 Chevy Silverado priced under $30,000, a 2022 Dodge Charger SXT slashed to under $24,000, or a 2016 Ford F-150 priced under $20,000. Double up and save during Double Up Days on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd. Edge Safety and Services LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screen. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 402 West Main Street inside the Edge Safety and Services facility. Edge Safety and Services LLC is an equal opportunity employer.
Springtime is coming quickly, and that means it's time for the spring open house for high school students and their parents at Eastern New Mexico University. Join us Saturday, March 22nd, as we welcome potential students and their family members to campus. ENMU will feature campus tours, opportunities to meet with current students and professors, information on scholarships, and chances to win great prizes. Sign up today at enmu.edu/open house. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
Chick Days are back at Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, Friday and Saturday, March 21st and 22nd. Buy a 25-pound bag of Purina Start and Grow and get 3 free chicks. Or double up and get 6 free chicks with a 50-pound bag. Plus, bring the kiddos because Runyon Ranch Petting Zoo will be there and tasty treats from the So Delicious Beverage Buggy. Open 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. on Friday and 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday at 1105 East 2nd in Roswell. Come take a peep at Chick Days, March 21st and 22nd at Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply.
So you think drinking alcohol can't hurt you? It'll mess you up big time. Say adios to large chunks of your brain. Major damage is already being done. Other parts of your body are getting wrecked too. Forget about sports, forget about school, forget about doing much of anything. Underage drinking freaks out your body, messes up your life.
Sponsored by the NMDOT.
Bill Cunningham is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
Earlier this week, House Speaker Mike Johnson accomplished the seemingly unexpected, keeping his Republican majority in line to fund the government. Now the bill is before the Senate.